Johnny Van Beesbrook is playing in goal tonight, the first half anyway. This is third preseason. As you see last year's record.
Terry Kleisinger will back up Van Beesbrook tonight.
He had 8 wins against the Patrick Division team last year, Van Beesbrook, and that really is something.
Has played well in preseason play. Ted Sater is on the right. Reg Higgs next to him on the bench. Rangers will open up with Mike Allison returning to the lineup. First time since knee surgery last January. Mark Osborne on the left, Steve Patrick on the right, Barry Beck, Reijo Ruotsalainen on defense, and here we go.
Sam,
Pullen and Allison on the draw.
I don't know why, but I got a feeling this is going to be a rough game. I just have that feeling.
These two teams met at the Spectrum Saturday morning in a 10:30 start, and the Flyers won it 5-2. It was 2-2 into the third period, and actually a 4-2 game when the Flyers got an empty net goal. Rangers have been playing with split squads, basically, in their preseason games prior to cuts made earlier this week. And the players who are sitting out tonight will play tomorrow night in Glen Falls when the Rangers play the Detroit Red Wings. Ruotsalainen with a back pass. Thomas Sandstrom, number 28, runs it down. Rangers' leading goal scorer last season, Thomas Sandstrom. Allison. Derek Smith sending it in for the Flyers. Van Beesbrook stops the puck. This is his 4th game in goal on Van Beesbrook. Played twice against the Buffalo Sabres. Nice move by James Patrick. Beat on the right wing a little too far, but getting there was Mike Ridley. The backhander by Pavlich is wide. Pavlich centers to Sandstrom, who shoots off a skate, and the loose puck is played up the boards by McCarthy. Battling along the boards is Ridley. Work free to the point to Laidlaw. Laidlaw to Pavlich. His wrist shot deflects off the skate and throws, covers up on the rebound.
Okay, good plays right there. Good hustle by that line. There he is. Mike Keenan, the coach of the Philadelphia Flyers. And boy, if ever anybody deserved the Coach of the Year honors, I think he did last year. And along with his assistants, who are now he's the head coach of the Rangers now, Ted Sater. That's Paul Holmgren as the assistant coach.
Former Flyer, the man from Minnesota who...
he had just too many injuries to keep on going.
Yes, he did.
Played so hard.
I talked to him yesterday. I said, how are you adjusting to the job? He says, I never realized the assistant coaches had to work so many hours.
That's good. I like that. Bobby Brook has 2 goals so far in preseason. And the way he shoots the puck, he should score a lot more if he would shoot a little bit more, because, man, he gets blasted.
He's been playing well on the right wing. Gagne, who's also been playing well, is on with McPhee, Brook.
Boy, is he cheating on a job. Good move.
Beltran and Samuelson. This is Jeff Chikrin, second-round draft pick of the Flyers in 1984, sending it across. Gagne broke it up, and Brook sends it into the Flyers zone. Minute 40 seconds gone by in the first period. There's no scores. Brad Marsh sends it around the boards, but it hops over the glass into the crowd.
One thing that Brad Marsh, he played super, and he gives a lot of credit to Mr. Sater.
Yes, he does.
For improving him, his skills and everything else. So, you know, that's a good sign for Ted Sater and a good sign for the Rangers. But I was going to say one thing Mr. Sater told me, Ted told me, he says, he doesn't like to see the Rangers just shoot it in for the sake of shooting it in, and that is something they're going to have to work on. And of course, it's going to take a while. New coach, new everything, system again, it takes a while.
Along the boards, Rangers keep the puck in. Gagne is in the corner, working it up the boards. Gagne goes down.
There's a penalty. Somebody's getting a penalty.
Penalty is being called. Tripping is the call, and it looks to be against the Philadelphia Flyers.
Okay, it looks... Let's take a look at it. That's number 40, Greg Smith. And here's the trip, as Gagne did not give up. And we noticed that in the first preseason game that we broadcast right here in the Garden. The Rangers did not give up in the corners and really outworked the Islanders in the corners and in front of the net, and that's why they ended up winning the game. Smith for tripping at 1:54. The Rangers won the first power play of this game.
Send out Ruotsalainen and Beck on the points. McPhee, Gagne, and Brook stay up front, as I mentioned.
What do you think, Sam? You think during the course of the season it'll be Beck on the power play? I doubt it. I think more killing penalties. Maybe. Well, we'll see.
Here's Ruotsalainen from the point. It deflects wide. I think you'll see Ruotsalainen. Willie Huber's got a good chance to be on the point. Greshner, another possibility. McPhee with the puck. Bangs it off the boards to Gagne. Gagne holds, centers, it's off a stick, it's loose. After it is McPhee, but the back passes out of the zone. Ruotsalainen recovers.
The Flyers have killed off 31 of the 32 power plays against them this preseason.
Here comes Brian Propp. Good hit by McPhee.
Another good hit.
Gagne with a puck to Bob Brook. Brook comes in, tries to beat Hospodar, rather Thomas Eriksson, who bumped him along the boards. Puck picked up by the Flyers. Brian Propp comes out. Now it's Poulin across the line. Lost control, gloved by Van Beesbroek. And McPhee has the puck for the Rangers. With a minute to go in the power play. The pass for Ruotsalainen is behind him. He gets dumped. In after it is Ridley. Ridley still with the puck. Mike Ridley from the University of Manitoba gets rid of it to Pavlich. Cross ice to feed, but the shot by Sandstrom was stopped. Rebound along the boards. Hooked up to the point. Ruotsalainen stops it. Throws it ahead, but it's cleared out by Thomas Eriksson. Van Beesbroek stops it. 40 seconds to go on the man advantage for the Rangers.
Crow stopped that shot by Sandstrom. He didn't even see it. Sandstrom got it away very, very quickly.
Pavlich, Ridley, and Sandstrom up front. This is Kjell Samuelsson, Rangers rookie defenseman, feeding to Thomas Sandstrom. Sandstrom along the boards, pulls up. Feed for Pavlich into Ridley. Ridley behind the net. Checked by Marsh. Ridley controlling the puck well to Samuelsson. Now to Ridley. Back to Samuelsson. He shoots. Save. Froze. He holds it. 10 seconds to go on the power play. 16-16 to go first period. No score.
There's Samuelsson, the big guy. Watch the pass come back to him. Comes back to him. Watch in front of the net as Sandstrom gets knocked down from behind. On the left of your screen, you'll see it. There he is, being knocked down by number 6. Who is that man?
Jeff Chikrin, number 6. Rookie defenseman.
That's Chikrin, right? Chikrin. Okay. Bob Froze. Murray Craven. Boy, was that an acquisition?
Great trade for Bob Clark and the Flyers last year, coming over from Detroit.
He got 2 goals in that Saturday against the Rangers.
Here comes James Patrick with a good move. He shoots and it. Big save was made. The rebound to Laidlaw. His shot is stopped. Back pass to the point. Teams are back in full strength. Laidlaw sends in deep to Kelly Miller. The wraparound is a save by Froze. Rangers with some good chances. Laidlaw feed to Don Maloney. Maloney centers and it's knocked away by Thomas Eriksson. Picked up by the Rangers. Kept in. Laidlaw goes cross ice to James Patrick. His shot hit the outside of the net. The rebound is loose. The Flyers get there. Craven along the boards lifts it clear. This is Ilkka Sinisalo. 36 goals last year. His shot deflects wide. Along the boards, Laidlaw. Clears it out. And here come the Rangers out. Picked up by Hospodar. Down center ice. Flyers control. Back pass to Hospodar. The former Ranger, former Hartford Whaler, Eddie Hospodar drives one in. Sticked aside by Van Beesbroek. Played by Steve Patrick. 15-15 to go first period, no score. Don Maloney with a nice move in center. Across the line, it's poked away from him, and the Flyers take it back. Craven along the boards. Double team, sends it to Hospodar. Hospodar hit by Steve Patrick, gets rid of it. And the Flyers come out. Stopped by Van Beesbroek. Around the boards to Osborne, who clears the zone. Dave Barish, number 36. On ice for the Flyers. He was picked up as a free agent. Former Ranger, former Toronto Maple Leaf. Quebec Nordique.
Trying to make the team.
Barish with a feed on the left side of Rich Sutter on the off wing. He brings down. The puck loose at the side of the net. And it's frozen. 14:36 to go first period from Madison Square Garden. This is New York Rangers hockey.
Look at young Dave Gagne. Has a good shot at making this hockey team this year. Made it for a while last year.
Started the season with the Rangers, played the first 18 games. He spent most of the rest of the season in New Haven. Was called up late in the year. Marsh with a shot from the point that's deflected wide. Picked up by George McPhee. McPhee throws it ahead. It's deflected by Chikrin. Tries to clear the zone and does. Brook recovers. Then lost it to Dave Brown across the line. Brown, number 21, comes in, centers. The backhander is blocked. And the Rangers come out. Good hit in the Rangers zone. Brings cheers from the crowd.
Great hit by
with a nice drop. Ruotsalainen shoots. Save. Froze. Ruotsalainen again. Centering pass. Was behind McPhee. Ruotsalainen takes it away.
See, good play by Ruotsalainen, but nobody backed him up. Somebody has to back him up.
Gagne comes out from behind the net. Gets hit. The puck pops up in the air and is gloved. There is no score.
13:53 left in this first period, and the score 0-0. Good opportunity. Good play by Rayo Ruotsalainen that time. Again, nobody backed him up, but he's so quick he got back and got the puck in the corner again.
Rangers out shooting the Flyers 4-2. Have looked good thus far. Gross has come up with some good saves. Flyers trying to clear the zone and finally get it out. Prop after it. It's off his stick and taken away by James Patrick. Prop on him. Laidlaw clears the zone. Thomas Eriksson. Now Kevin McCarthy, who played with the Pittsburgh Penguins, originally a first-round draft pick of the Flyers.
Vancouver. He went to Vancouver, then to Pittsburgh.
Right. Patrick gets away from Prop. Patrick feeds to Mike Ridley. Kevin McCarthy after it. McCarthy up the boards. Gave it away to Sandstrom. Sandstrom tried to come in front. Was stripped of the puck.
Beautiful play by Poulin that time.
Mike Ridley, number 39. Around to Sandstrom. Centers for Pavlich. Back pass to Shell Samuelson. Now to Feltrin. Cross ice to Pavlich in the slot. He shoots high. Sandstrom looks like it's flying. It's hit hard by Prop.
Poulin, isn't it?
Battle along the boards and the puck cleared out. It was Poulin, excuse me.
Well, they look the same. They got the same helmets on, and they got 20.
20, and the other guy's got 26.
And this sweater from up here, and it's crinkles. You don't know whether it's a 0 or a 6.
12 and a half minutes to go in the first period. There's no score. And this is Kelly Miller, number 40, coming down. Miller comes in with a shot and a save by Froze. Sinisalo on the sideboards, lost the puck. It's still loose. Rangers putting some pressure on. It's picked up by Per-Erik Eklund. Call him Pelly.
Please.
Pelly Eklund. Rookie from Sweden. They are very high on him. Greg Smith, number 40, sends it around the board. Stopped there by Ruotsalainen across the Beck with a drive wide. Out to Ruotsalainen. Stepped it in. Along the boards, Eklund goes over to play at number 9. Eklund throws it side of the net. Centered in front. The shot deflects wide. Helmanen with a back pass that's out of the zone. Beck with the puck. 11:45 to go in the first period. No score. Maloney sending it across for Ruotsalainen. Intercepted. And the Flyers are offside. 11:43 to go in the first period. You're watching Rangers hockey on Madison Square Garden Network.
Rookie Helmanen from Finland, second-round draft pick this year. And I guess, or last year, excuse me. And what do you think? He's got a pretty good shot of making this.
He's got a shot. They like a good offensive player. He's one of those players that they feel needs to work a little on two-way hockey and needs a little more physical strength. Ruotsalainen.
Oh, he just got slashed right across the face by Hospital.
Now they get rough. There's Allison. They've got something going on in front. Steve Patrick.
He's got Hospital.
After Hospodar.
I don't like to see fighting, but there's a good thing with Patrick doing good because Hospital slashed Ruotsalainen right across the face, and they're just letting him know that it's not going to happen this year. It's an exhibition game and it's preseason. You got to let them know that it's not going to hide it.
I think you were on the button with the rough.
Watch this.
Huh?
Okay, there's the slash. Watch the slash right across the head. Bang. Right there. And now his Hospital, and Ruotsalainen goes into the corner, and then Patrick went right after Eddie Hospodar.
Hospodar goes
in fairness, though, of Hospodar there, although he's known for stick up, it was somebody checked him a little bit and lifted the stick up. Beck is asking for a 5-minute major, probably for an intent to injure, but the referee, he's getting it. He's getting a 5-minute. And I don't think that's right, because he didn't even have his hand up for the penalty in the first place. Now, he didn't call it till later. So Hospodar gets a 5-minute penalty. Huh?
Number 11.
Patrick gets a 5 minutes.
Steve Patrick receives 5 minutes for fighting.
Oh, okay. I see. So he didn't call the penalty for the stick work. He didn't see it. But this year there's a new rule where they have the captain and 2 assistant captains. I like that. I think that's good. Used to be they would allow the captain and assistant captains. In fact, in the early 70s in the Bruins, we never had a captain. We had 3 assistants.
Three
alternates. That's right.
Tonight's game, Tom Laidlaw and Don Maloney are the alternates. Barry Beck wearing the captain's C.
The time of the penalty, Steve Patrick and Hospodar at 8:37. Hospodar gets 2 minutes for high sticking, and Patrick gets 2 minutes for 5 minutes for fighting.
And and they are skating 4 aside. And eventually the Flyers will get a 3-minute power play.
That's right. Excuse me, I said high sticking. They called it hooky. Hooky?
Icing is the call.
Hooky? Who cares? They got a penalty anyway. There he is, Mike Keenan. Talking to his players.
I feel the attitude is real good on the Flyers coming back. Not complacent. The guys worked hard as far as their off-season training was concerned.
I talked to Dave Parrish and Eddie Hospiter before the game, and both of them indicated that it was a terrific. It's been a terrific training camp, well organized, a lot of hard work. Training camps have changed over the years. These used to be fun times.
Puck sent down the boards. This is Sinisalo coming in. Sinisalo shoots, save, Van Beesbrook, and he stopped the rebound as well.
Good save.
Patrick sends out Pavlich. Pavlich pulls up. Marsh takes the puck away. Brad Marsh leads ahead to Sinisalo. Beesbrook leaves it there for Laidlaw. Laidlaw checked by Sinisalo around the boards to Ruotsalainen. Ruotsalainen to Mike Ridley. Taps it ahead for Sandstrom. Trying to split the defense. He's taken out of the play. Sandstrom goes right after Brad Marsh along the boards. Flyers able to clear the zone. 10:20 to go first period. No score. Rangers and Flyers at Madison Square Garden. Beck. Ruotsalainen with a puck. And now Maloney comes across. He's tied up. Maloney goes after Greg Smith. Maloney falls down. Sandstrom takes it away. Gets it to Maloney. Couldn't tee up the backhander. In front, the shot by Sandstrom is stopped by Froese.
That was a good save by Froese.
Greg Smith with a feed for Rich Sutter. Whistle blows, stopping play. Looks like a penalty coming up.
He's calling Carson and Sandstrom 2 minutes each. Carson gave, Sandstrom was hooking him, and Carson kept giving him the hook in the elbow and everything else.
9:55 to go, and penalties coming up.
55 remaining, the 2 penalties, Sandstrom and Carson. Carson gets 2 minutes for roughing, and Sandstrom gets 2 minutes for slashing at 10:05.
Derek Smith lost control of the puck, played by Ramo Hellman, number 23, and a penalty is coming. Holding is the call.
Looks like Tony Feltrin is going to go. Well, Gregson is not going to let this game get a little rough. Feltrin had a hold of the Philadelphia player behind the bench, behind the net, Derek Smith, it looks like. Let's take a look at it. There's a left hand grabbing onto the stick, holding. Yeah, he's got holding, and there's Gregson, and you can see his feet. That's a good call by the referee.
So now it'll be a 4-on-3 power play for the Flyers, and in 20 seconds it'll be a 5-on-3 when Hospodar returns.
That's right. That penalty is at 10:18 if you're scoring at home.
No score in the game, 9:42 to go in the first period. Tony Feltrin, who started out in the Pittsburgh Penguins organization. Penguins draft pick, picked up as a free agent by the Rangers. Look at John Van Beesbrook, who has stopped 4 shots thus far in the game. Brook, Beck, and Laidlaw on for the Rangers. Here's a shot by Thomas Eriksson. Wide, the rebound is loose, and it just went wide on the net.
Barry Beck knocked the guy down just in time.
Thomas Eriksson stops the puck. Flyers 4-on-3. Shot by Eriksson. Save Van Beesbrook. Kevin McCarthy overskated the puck. Brook dives and pokes it out and goes after it. McCarthy is back. Nice feed for Laidlaw. He's in. Laidlaw couldn't control the puck. He's checked in the corner, and a penalty's coming up. On the Flyers, hooking is the call, and that'll even things out.
Sinisalo is going to go for hooking. Tommy Laidlaw busted it away, but Bobby Brook made a great play in his own zone. And Tommy Laidlaw smiling. Now watch, the puck comes out. Here's the save. Now watch Barry Beck knock the guy off just in time with his stick. His strength on his arms did that. And he pushes the puck along the boards, and then he got it out. Bob Brook, good effort. Barry Becker, good effort. Tommy Laidlaw. Here it is here. Brook pushes it forward. And here comes Laidlaw. Now watch the hook by Sinisalo. Not a very good call. But
well, it was a 5-on-3 situation with Hospodar returning, so it's now still a Flyers power play. It is a
That was a good play
4-on-3 situation.
by Laidlaw, but there wasn't a hook. Laidlaw just lost the puck. Got a hooking penalty, though.
Beltran has 1:33 to go in his penalty. Steve Patrick has 2:53 to go in his major. 5 minutes for fighting. So the Flyers with a man advantage, skating 4-on-3. 9:05 to go in the first period, no score. Brian Propp comes in. Drop pass. Kept in by the Flyers along the boards, then cleared out by George McPhee. McPhee, James Patrick, and Kjell Samuelsson on for the Rangers. Samuelsson, the rookie from Sweden, wears number 43. He's 6'6", 225.
He's one big boy.
26-year-old rookie from Sweden. Kevin McCarthy with a pass. Gagne almost stole it. McCarthy gets it back. Feed for Poulin, deflects to Propp. Propp is tied up nicely by James Patrick. Now Laidlaw with room to clear, gets it out to Gagne. Gagne hit by Poulin, still has the puck.
You know, I look for James Patrick to have a super year for the Rangers this year.
I think he's one guy who really will benefit from the defensive teachings of this staff. They really stress defense. In 30 seconds, Beltran will return. It's still a Flyers power play, skating 4-on-3. Brian Propp, who scored 43 goals last season, has had 166 goals the last 4 years. That is consistency.
Yes.
Around it comes to Murray Craven. Craven had 26 goals last year. Back pass to Chychrun. He shoots, deflected wide, and a hit by Laidlaw sends Propp down. Beltran comes back, and the teams are at full strength. I should say equal strength, 4 aside. Beltran, man on the clearing pass, and finally does clear it all the way down. 7.5 minutes to go first period, no score. Icing is called.
Well, and Sandstrom comes back, and so does Lindsey Carson. There's Tommy Laidlaw. Laidlaw took the guy out in front of the net pretty well. Here's the shot by Chychrun, and watch Laidlaw give the guy a little bit of a shove, and if that was across the back, it could have been cross-checking, but they didn't. He got him across the arm and just pushed him, and the referee made a wise decision there, not calling a penalty.
Because of that 5-minute major to Steve Patrick, Sinisalo will return in 17 seconds, and the Flyers will resume their power play situation. Patrick has 1:09 to go in his 5-minute penalty. 7:32 to go in the first period. There is no score.
Quick, mathematics, quick. 109, 17, 9,
45. No, 52.
52. Yeah.
Sorry.
What did I say? 86. 86. Okay.
James Patrick comes in. Ridden out of the play by Chychrun. Puck loose in the corner. Dug free by the Flyers. And Peter Zezel, number 25, beats Derek Smith. Smith comes in with a shot. Save Van Beesbrook. Rebound, penalty called on the Rangers. 7:06 to go. First period. This is New York Rangers hockey from Madison Square Garden. Play, able to clear the puck down. Brook looks very good in preseason thus far. Beck stopped it at the blue line and gets it to Brook. And he clears down. 25 seconds to go in Steve Patrick's penalty. Minute 40 to go. Pavlich's penalty. And here comes Pelle Eklund. Eklund across the line. Drops it off. Kept in at the blue line. Propp with a wrist shot. Gloved by Van Beesbrook. Lost control. Sinisalo has the puck. Sinisalo holds. Feed to Eklund. Cross-ice pass blocked by Beck. Beck sends it around the boards. Sinisalo out to Thomas Eriksson. Now to Propp. Propp shoots. Wide. Deflected by Sinisalo wide of the net. Sinisalo checked by Beck. Back pass. Shot by Propp. Score! It's a power play goal.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I watched. Propp scored the goal, I guess, but I wasn't even watching that because I was watching in front of the net. This Joe Patterson could not be budged by either Barry Beck or Samuelsson. Watch on the right of your screen. Samuelsson is with him right now as Beck carries Propp. Now watch the right of your screen. Look at Patterson. There's no way Van Beesbrook can see that puck, and it comes in and beats him. A goal by Propp. Look at Patterson and Samuelsson. Right there. Patterson getting his position, and he just stands there. There's no way, and the puck is screenshot into the net. Good shot by Propp.
It was a 5-on-4 situation, and the Flyers cash in after all those penalties by the Rangers. Laidlaw trying to find the puck. Poulin centering. It's intercepted by Helminen. He sends out Don Maloney. Maloney lifts it into the corner. Kelly Miller chases it down. Rose gets there first. Around the shelf it comes. And out come the Flyers 3-on-2. Lindsey Carson, number 18, with a back pass. Blocked by James Patrick. Laidlaw has Patterson tied up. And Helminen sends out Kelly Miller with Maloney on the right. Miller across the line. Out of Michigan State, Kelly Miller. Played 5 regular season games for the Rangers at the end of last year. Played in the playoffs as well. Flyers take it back. Poulin sends out Rich Sutter.
That goal, Brian Propp is third of the preseason by an assistant, Sinisalo, at 13:45. It was a power play goal.
Osborne's pass deflected. Flyers come back in. Murray Craven comes in. The backhander is stopped by Van Beesbrook. Centered. Still loose. Van Beesbrook clears it aside. At the point, Greg Smith shoots. Save Van Beesbrook. Backs the rebound in the corner. Osborne has it. And he comes out with Steve Patrick.
Philadelphia setting up in front of the net. The Rangers guys can't move him out.
Steve Patrick winds it in. Rose sends it around. There's Ruotsalainen to play it. Ruotsalainen checked along the boards. Taken away by Craven. Knocked down by Osborne. Backhand deflected. Hit aside with a shoulder by Froze. Eklund clears it all the way down. Backcourt there is James Patrick. 4.5 minutes to go first period. 1-0 Flyers. Allison for James Patrick. He comes in and shoots. Glove save by Froze. And he holds on with 4:26 to go in the first period. Flyers lead
1-0. The Flyers lead on a goal, a power play goal by Brian Propp, assisted by Sinisalo at 13:45.
Pavlich with Sandstrom on the right. Mike Ridley, the rookie, on the left. Ridley has the puck. Back pass for Samuelson is past him. He gets there. Off the boards. Poulin plays it ahead for Propp. Lost it to Pavlich. Gets it back. Brian Propp. 7th year in the National Hockey League. Tony Feltrin, number 32, with the puck to Mike Ridley. A little too far for Sandstrom. Marsh took it away. Here comes Shel Samuelson. Throws it into the corner. Flyers clear the zone. It hops over the boards into the official scorers box with 3:50 to go in this first period. 1-0 Flyers leading the Rangers.
The Rangers and the Flyers continue to have this close, tight games. Last year the Flyers completely dominated. There's Kevin McCarthy, who was, Sam told you, the first-round pick of the Flyers way back when, and then went to Vancouver, and consequently ended up in Pittsburgh, and came over here as a free agent.
Played a lot at forward for the Penguins last year because they were looking for wingers.
That's right. He killed a lot of penalties for him.
So he's readjusting to playing defense. Beck sends it around the boards. Froze stops it. Boy, the Flyers have good goaltending. Big thing for the Flyers last year. They cut down their goals against.
That's right.
To 241, second best in the league last year. Thrown in front and it hops in.
Big Gagne.
Deflected by Gagne.
Yep. Gagne skating by in front of the net. Deflected the puck past Froze with a good little deflection, and he was at the right spot at the right time. Okay, watch number 9. Right there. You watch, keep your eye on the left of your screen as the puck is bouncing, and Ruotsalainen just whacks at it. And here he comes. Look, and he just redirects it, and there's nobody around him.
Tied at 1 as the Flyers send it in with 3:25 to go in the first period. Ruotsalainen tied up along the boards. Puck is still free as they dig for it. Now it's frozen for a face-off with 3:21 to go.
Notice they got Eddie Hosper now playing right wing on the Philadelphia Flyers. That goal, Gagne gets the goal. Now watch the shot and the deflection right here. It's in the air, and he just redirected it. No chance for Bob Froze. Ruotsalainen and Bob Brook get the assist at 16:25 on his second goal of the preseason. Ties this game up at 1.
Craven, Carson, and Hospital are up front for the Flyers.
I'm just going to say that, Sam. You read my mind.
Big battle for the Flyers as far as position goes, is probably at defense, though.
Gotta be.
They've got a few veterans that are solid. The save by Van Beesbrook at the post, and he holds the puck.
That was a good save, but you see what the Flyers do so well that a lot of other teams don't is they converge on the net. No matter what, they converge right on that net.
And that is something that Ted Sater is trying to get the Rangers to do and work on.
And I think as the season progresses, you'll see more and more the Rangers doing that sort of thing, converging. As they get the puck back to the point or a shot, the other guys converge. They practice that a lot at practice. I was watching that one day. They got some great drills, super drills.
Flyers control the draw. Shot by Farish is blocked by Gagne. Gagne, another man who has played very well in preseason. 3 minutes to go. In this first period, 1-1 to score. James Patrick has the puck. Raven is after him around the boards. Laidlaw sent to the head. McPhee to Helminen. Ramo Helminen across the line with a wrist shot. Saved by Froze. Rebound on the far side. Brook gets there. Winds it in for McPhee. Dave Farish sends it around the boards. Raven clears. Helminen back for it. Need for George McPhee. Backhand to the head. It hits Eklund coming off the bench. Rangers get it back. Helminen with the puck. To Tony Feltrin. Feltrin, number 32. This pass deflected by Eklund. Picked up by Samuelson. This pass blocked by Marsh. Loose in front. Marsh clears it aside for Eklund. Eklund chased by Kelly Miller. Sends it around to Greg Smith, number 40. The rookie defenseman lifts it out. Deflected by Kelly Miller. Picked up by Samuelson. Samuelson sends it out of the zone for Don Maloney. Now across the line, Helminen. Nice drop for Miller for the shot high off the glass. Don Maloney plays the rebound. Back pass to Feltrin. Feltrin's pass for Maloney along the boards. He's tied up. Flyers try to clear the zone and do. Ilka Sinisalo comes ahead. Samuelson stops him. Along the boards, overcomes Eklund. And it's frozen. 1:45 to go in the first period, tied 1-1. Little pushing and shoving between Feltrin and Chychrun. Two defensemen trying to make their respective teams.
See Joe Patterson come in there.
Right now, let's check in with Bruce Beck down at ice side. Bruce?
Well, Sam, coming up between periods, we'll talk to Ranger captain Barry Beck, find out about his recovery from shoulder surgery. We'll look at highlights, we'll have a scoring review, and we'll take a look at Rangers training camp, a behind-the-scenes visit, all coming up between periods. Back to you, Sam.
Face off in the Ranger zone.
I'd like to ask Bruce after, what's his shoulder injury? See, even the guys that have got great education can make a mistake once in a while. Do you ever make one? Me?
Only when you make me laugh. Sent all the way down. Kevin McCarthy gets there for the icing touch with 1:35 to go in this first period.
Pretty good first period for as preseason games go, and we're all looking forward, I think, to the opening night. There's Mike Allison, his first game back in many moons, and I really think that this guy could be a key to the Rangers' success this year if he continues to progress like the progress that he has already. I think he's progressed a lot more than most people thought at this time.
You know, for Mike Allison, it's a matter of staying healthy. In his rookie year, he played 75 games, scored 26 goals. Since then, the most he's played in the season is 49 games.
And he's got to stay healthy. He's got to be healthy in this game.
Beck collides with Dave Brown. Beck sends it into the corner. Prop is there. Prop is hit along the boards by James Patrick. Beck. It's poked
There
free.
they go. There they go. Two big guys.
Beck and Brown. Barry Beck and Dave Brown.
And I'll tell you, I saw that coming all the way. And Beck is mad, and there's no way you're going to stop him now. And Brown is one heck of a fighter. And that started way back. And I don't think we've seen the last of that tonight either.
Well, you know Beck isn't thinking about the shoulder when he goes like that against Dave Brown.
That's right. And watch this. Here's the original check. Now, that's a pretty good hit. But then they go along, and Beck's shoulder's got to be good. That's about 4 checks they've hit. Now they go into the corner, and here comes Beck again, and he hits Brown again. Now that was a clean check, and then Brown grabs him and probably rubbed his face with the glove, which is a noted thing a lot of players do. You grab the guy in the face, especially a guy who doesn't have a helmet, and you scrunch his nose with your palm of your glove. And if the glove is old and it stinks, it's awful. And if it's new and it's crusty from the sweat, it's even worse. Ah, boy, I remember those. Anyway, Brown and Beckett, 5 minutes each for fighting at 18:41.
A minute 19 to go. First period tied 1-1. Rangers 11 shots on goal. Flyers 9. Teams remain skating 5 aside. Zezel and Allison on the draw. One by Allison. Another thing, having Mike Allison back, good
right.
face-off.
That's exactly right.
Here's Allison in center with Osborne on the left wing. That's a big line. Allison, Osborne, and Steve Patrick. Taken back. Allison stops it. Allison shoots it wide. Marsh couldn't clear. Now the Flyers recover. Less than a minute to go in the first period. Rich Sutter. James Patrick takes out Zezel. And the puck is frozen with 48 seconds to go.
And now the game seems to be picking up. But Mike Allison had a great opportunity to shoot the puck and held it, and then got it back and made a good shot. There's James Patrick. We've talked about him already tonight as I believe maybe a key for this team. Him, this man right here, Allison. Everybody that plays on the ice, I guess, is a key. If you aren't good enough, you're not going to make it. Simple.
Well, I think James Patrick has tremendous talent. There's no question about that. I think he lost confidence last year.
Well, it's potential too, you know, and it's playing sharper, not harder.
Puck thrown in. Froze gloves it, holds it. Mike Ridley bearing down on him. 39 seconds to go in this first period. Bob Froze, outstanding goaltender. There is Eddie Hospodar, and they feel he's got a role on this team.
Oh, absolutely. He'll be on that team. Last year, he was telling me when New York, he played at about 216 pounds, and he's about 205 right now, 204. And he says it's all the weight training and everything else that they've done. And Eddie has been around with the Rangers, the Hartford Whalers, and now the Flyers, and I believe he's found a home in Philadelphia.
They feel he's a smart hockey player.
He can draw penalties. He sure can draw penalties.
And now they're giving him some work on the wing so he can play up front, play back on defense if they need him.
That's right. Good.
Wrist shot. Loved by Frozen. He holds it. Good quick shot by Sandstrom.
No, that was Ridley, and I don't understand them changing around, except that Sandstrom is bigger and try to block it, but that surprises me. See, there's Sandstrom right here, and he is off the hash marks anyway, and that surprises me. They're both left-handed shots. I think he would come across and shoot it because I believe he can shoot it better.
Sandstrom there, checked by Chikrin, and a penalty is being called by Terry Gregson. Flyers control it, 27 seconds to go, and the penalty call.
I think probably Poulin is going to go. I thought it was the centerman, Dave Poulin, who grabbed Mark Pavlich.
And that's the man who's going, the captain.
Looks like it. Yeah, off the face-off. It already happened, but here comes Poulin in, and the penalty had already been called. It was holding on the face-off. I don't know what the call will be, but he had a hold of Pavlich's stick off the face-off. It is holding. Poulin for holding at 19:33.
27 seconds to go in this first period.
It's the Rangers' second power play.
Murray Craven. Trade with the Red Wings made October the 10th of last year. There's Peter Zezel, who played very well last year as a rookie.
I'll tell you, he reached his potential and more, I believe. Last year, they've got high hopes for that young guy.
The thing we have to talk about a little later on when we get some time is Todd Bergen's situation. What a strange situation that is.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to play hockey.
Wants to play golf.
That's right.
From the point, the wrist shot goes wide. Marsh bangs it off the boards. Roots the line and stops it. Comes in, looking, feeding for Sandstrom. He was tied up, deflected on goal, and Froze gets it. But Sandstrom is knocked over the goaltender. And we get the pileup.
Sandstrom sort of fell over the goalie. No, Todd Bergen wanting to play golf. The game is not as physical, obviously, I don't think, but it's tough mentally. I know. I play awful.
Look at.
Go ahead, guys. That game gets me.
That's Jeff Chikrin, a second-round draft pick in 1984. He's played well, but if he doesn't make the team, he'll wind up back in juniors this year.
Face off to the right of Bob Froese, and they've got Ridley taking the draw. That's strange. Sandstrom and Bob Brook out there. Mark Pavlich is not out there.
10 seconds to go in the period. Rangers with a man advantage. And we get another frozen puck for a face-off with 5 seconds to go in this first period, tied at 1-1.
Chikrin is from Quebec. Played junior in Quebec. No, he played junior in Kingston, didn't he? Sure. I thought
Right.
so.
Second-round draft pick in 1984. Greg Smith was also a second-round draft pick. Smith was the first
Do you know where
pick of the
Kingston
second
is?
round.
Do you know where Kingston is?
Ontario.
Yeah. Where?
I've never been there.
You know who's from there?
Who?
Harry Sidney.
Is that right?
No, he's from Oshawa. He played hockey in Kingston.
Well, don't give me wrong information
I'm
now.
just trying to make it exciting. What can I say?
Good first period.
Yeah,
Bob
it was.
Froese played very well for the Flyers, as he always does against the Rangers.
He sure
Good
does.
goaltender.
He just seems to get really up for the Rangers, and the Flyers, as they did, dominated. There's a good shot of the guys coming in after the first period. It's very warm in here tonight, and training camp, though, this is the time to get that shape. That's really
Get
good.
yourself into shape.
That's right.
Score time. At 1-1, Rangers out shooting the Flyers 12-9 in the first period. Helminen, Kelly Miller, and Don Maloney open up for the Rangers with Laidlaw and Ruotsalainen. On defense, Laidlaw has the puck. Now Ruotsalainen carries.
Sulan's in the penalty box still for 1:25. I don't know whether I said that, Sam. I just got back here.
Kelly Miller on the right side. Miller was slowed down by a sprained ankle. He's just starting to get back into top shape. Don Maloney has the puck with a back pass to Laidlaw. Now to Maloney. Helmanen's on the right side. In the slot is Miller. Here comes Laidlaw. Shot blocked. Maloney has the puck. Checked by Prop. Maloney gets it around for Kelly Miller. Now Helminen has the puck. Rangers with a man advantage. Ruotsalainen shot from the point is wide. 45 seconds to go on the power play. Miller to Maloney. Maloney checked by Chikrin. Puck is loose, and the Flyers able to clear. Knocked down. Good play by Ruotsalainen. Over to Helminen. And a two-line pass is whistled against the Rangers. That was not a good play.
I'm not going to start. It's too early yet.
Opening minute of play in the second period.
There's Samuelson. That's a good shot at the Ranger bench.
Rangers power play, skating 5-on-4. Allison with Steve Patrick on the right, Mark Osborne on the left. Samuelson and James Patrick on defense. Samuelson sends out Allison. Allison across the line. Steve Patrick comes in, takes it around, centers in front, just past. Here's the shot by Samuelson, saved by Froese. He's without his stick.
Took too long.
Osborne has it. Osborne to Allison. Allison for Steve Patrick. It's stopped by Froese with the butt end of the stick.
Patrick missed that one there. Oh, what a hit.
Good hit in center ice by Derek Smith on James Patrick.
Actually, James Patrick went to hit Smith and was like running into a wall.
Teams are back at full strength. Rangers come out. Allison to Osborne. Osborne with a drive, deflects off a skate and up into the crowd, stopping play. 18-17 to go, second period, 1-1 the score. Bob Froese.
Some good saves by that man right there, Bob Froese, but haven't we seen that before against the Rangers by this young man? Okay, let's take a look. Look at Froese. He's out of the net. Samuelson waiting. The big windup. That's all he had to do is snap it, and he had the open net. There's a perfect example, guys. When you guys are watching the game, you don't need that big slap shot. Now, watch the bottom right of your screen. Here it is. And he just went up there. He shanked it, actually. That's in the golf tournament yesterday. He shanked it.
Zezel wins the draw from Pavlich. Teams are at full strength. 1-1 the score. Taken away by Laidlaw. Rangers come out. Pavlich, right side for Sandstrom. Sandstrom beats Hospodar. Hospodar ties him up again. Excuse me, that's Thomas Eriksson for the Flyers on defense. Ridley with a cross-eye speed that's broken up by Sinisalo, and the Flyers come out. Zezel with a puck. Nice drop pass for Sinisalo. Shoots just wide. Out to McCarthy. Centers. Deflected by Pavlich. Along the boards. It's played by Sandstrom. Lost it to Sinisalo. Centers. And it's taken away by Ruotsalainen. Good bump by Laidlaw in front on Patterson.
But that Patterson, does he go to the net or what?
He is tough. And Patterson is hanging. Couldn't get the lead pass from Sinisalo. And it's taken back by Sandstrom. Rangers come out. Knocked ahead for Ridley, but broken up by Chychrun. Jeff Chychrun almost lost it. Gets it back, and we've got something going right in front of the Flyers bench.
Beltran and Patterson. Look at the Philadelphia Flyers yelling, go, go, go.
They're cheerleading.
Sometimes, you know, you're right there on the floor, on the bench, and you get this irresistible urge to reach over, especially if your guy's
Right.
getting beat here. This urge to reach over and just yank at the opponent just a little bit. Not to punch him, just to yank him a little bit, just to throw him off balance.
Yeah, just hold him a little bit. Don't hit him, just hold him so the other guy can get the edge. 17-11 to go, second period, tied 1-1. We've had a couple of fights in this game.
That's right, Beltran right there did a good job. Beltran and Patterson get 5 minutes each for fighting at 2:49. Beltran didn't wait there, did he, Sammy? He threw that first punch. There was no waiting for him.
You mentioned Beltran, a fourth-round draft pick of the Penguins a few years back. A couple of brief stays with the Penguins. Teams remain at 5 aside. 3 minutes gone by second period. And they're hitting out there.
Like I said, that's a good time. That's what gets you in shape in training camp, is getting bumped and everything else. There's Hospodar and McPhee, but watch number 6, Chychrun and Laidlaw. They just banged into each other, and Chychrun went down. Tommy Laidlaw has had a good preseason, I guess, from all reports.
Yes.
And
Tommy looks strong. And
a lot stronger than last year.
Another player who was set back by injuries. The ruptured spleen in January in Boston, the operation.
Boy.
It's a miserable year as far as injuries were concerned. Dave Parrish, 36, hit by Brook. Good play by Brook. McPhee with a feed for Patrick. The shot was blocked, and the Flyers clear the zone.
Another shake.
Laidlaw picks up the puck, brings it in. Broken up by Greg Smith. Flyers fire it down, and this will be an icing as James Patrick comes back to make the touch. 16:36 to go in the second period, tied 1-1.
The Rangers have put on the pressure so far in the first 3.5 minutes of this period, and they've looked very, very good in this starting part of the second period. James Patrick.
36 points, wound up with 8 goals.
Well, you know, he's a good offensive defenseman. He really is a smart, heads-up player.
See, but I think what will happen this year is his role will be more clearly defined.
Right.
I don't think he was sure just what they wanted him to do last year.
I agree with you totally, Sam.
Out at the point, Shel Samuelson's shot is blocked. Comes back to Samuelson. Fanned on it. It's loose. Samuelson pokes it in. Rose sends it around the boards to Poulin. Taken away from him by Helminen.
But that Chychrun's getting a lot of ice, isn't he, for
Yes, he is.
Philadelphia?
They want to take a good look at him. They know they've got a spot on the defense. Started to mention you've got Mark Howe, Brad McCrimmon. They're set. Crossman is set. Marsh is set.
That's those 4.
Thomas Eriksson has been here, but they were disappointed in him last year.
Eddie Hospodar, I think, has got a role in this team. I think he'll be part of it. And this guy, he can sneak in.
He's 6'4", close to 200 pounds. Got real good size.
6'4".
So they're deciding whether he'll see enough ice time here or whether he'd be better off going back to juniors and playing one more year in juniors. 16:16 to go in the second period. 1-1 the score. Helminen, number 23. Kelly Miller on the right. Don Maloney on the left. Flyers control. Kevin McCarthy. Good hit by Miller. Don Maloney, after the puck is tied up along the boards by Eriksson, tries to clear it and does. And it's picked up by Ruotsalainen. Off the stick of Maloney. Keeps it in. Flyers clear it out. This is Lindsey Carson, number 18. Cross against Ruotsalainen. Bounces behind the net. Beck is there. Poke it to Kelly Miller. Miller gets past the referee, Terry Gregson. Thomas Eriksson takes it back for the Flyers. Rangers break it up. Don Maloney tied up along the boards by Eriksson. Still the battle along the boards. Flyers able to clear it out. Beck sends it back in. Maloney still in the zone. Rangers are offside. 15:25 to go. And here we go again.
Beck again.
This time it's Rich Sutter. I believe it's Rich Sutter.
And this time Rick Sutter went after Beck. And looked like he hit through the first run.
Well, if they're looking to challenge Beck, that might be a mistake.
I think that is a mistake.
And the fans respond as Beck gets into another one. This is New York Rangers hockey from Madison Square Garden.
Exciting. And 5 for fighting. Time of those penalties is 4:35. 7 minutes.
We've had a couple of fights. Here's James Patrick comes in, a shot blocked. Back pass intercepted by Derek Smith and clears the zone. Craven beaten to it by Laidlaw. Froze leaves it for Greg Smith. Around for Hospodar. Allison bumps in. Laidlaw keeps it in for Osborne. Osborne pulled down. Penalty call on the Flyers. Delayed penalty upcoming. Flyers get to the puck. And it looks like Greg Smith is going to go for pulling down Mark Osborne.
Or is it Hospodar? Somebody, one of those guys. It might be Hospodar in the corner. Watch on the left of your screen. We'll see. Now there's Smith. He gives Osborne the knee, but look on the left of your screen. Hospodar tackled Allison, I guess it is. Yeah.
Call. Right.
So they give him 2 minutes for interference. Hospodar 2 minutes for interference at 5:07. Third power play for the Rangers. 5-on-4. Interesting. Rangers are power play now. We'll see what happens. If somebody will go stand in front of the net, they've done pretty well in the power play. They haven't scored, but they're setting up very well.
Ruotsalainen, Samuelsson, Ridley, Pavlich, and Sandstrom. It deflects into the corner. Sandstrom to Pavlich. Hops over his stick. Chychrun is there.
Sandstrom's a guy. He's got to be right out there.
Good play by Ridley to take it away to Samuelsson. Fakes the shot. Nice feed. Backhander is wide. Sandstrom. Ridley with a good bump on Marsh, and Pavlich gets the puck, but it's stopped by Poulin. Couldn't clear. Ruotsalainen, the shot. Wide. Deflected wide. Pavlich. And a whistle and a penalty is called.
Ridley, I think number 6 is going to go. And he looks like he's giving it to Ridley. Number 6, Chychrun, just kept pounding on Ridley's back. Pushed him right into it, and Ridley's gone. Let's take a look. Here's the shot. Now watch on the right of your screen. You can see that Chychrun is the guy that's doing it. And there's another one.
He may give him interference for interfering with a goaltender.
Well, he got pushed into the crease by Chychrun. And it's very, very
high sticking.
I don't understand that one. Okay. I've seen 2 or 3 dandies tonight already. I don't mean to pick on the referees so early in the season.
Well, they're getting into shape too, you know. There's Bob Froze. Froze played only 17 games regular season last year. That's because Pelle Lindbergh had just a super year, and as I mentioned, they were second best in the league.
He also missed. He had 35 games last year. He missed 25. He had the sprained ligaments.
Right. And, but the way Lindbergh was going, it's hard to crack the lineup.
So Ridley high sticking at 5:39.
And now the teams are 4 aside with a score 1-1, 14:10 to go in the second period. Craven tips it in. Ruotsalainen picks up the puck. Off the boards. And back to Ruotsalainen. Out for Gagne, but past him, Kevin McCarthy, number 5, chasing it. Gagne after him. McCarthy around to Dave Barish. Barish ahead for Pelle Eklund. Eklund, the rookie from Sweden, has it poked away. Picked up by Gagne. Gagne takes a hit, but gets rid of it. 2-on-1. Laidlaw with McPhee. A shot off the glove. It's deflected.
Good play by Kevin McCarthy right there, boy. going down to block that. He played that 2-on-1 beautifully. And Tommy Laidlaw coming down now. Watch McCarthy. He's right in the middle now. He senses Laidlaw's going to shoot it. Goes down and blocks it. That's the key, you know, when you telegraph whether you're going to shoot or not. Now, Tommy Laidlaw has not been known for his offensive ability. Over the course of the season, what did he get, 3 last year? 2?
1.
1 last year?
Just
2
1.
years before? He doubled his output the year before, I remember that, yeah. He gets his 1 a year.
And then there's a major celebration.
He doesn't have to score goals.
The puck is hops over the stick of James Patrick, races back for it with Carson, who knocks it in the corner. Derek Smith gets there. Smith holding, comes out of the corner. Nice move. The shot is blocked. It's loose. James Patrick picks it up. Out to Don Maloney. Now Kelly Miller. Teams are 4 aside. Flyers are going to have a power play in 25 seconds. Miller with a fine move in front. Bro's able to smother the puck in the crease.
That was a great move by Kelly Miller. He pulled it. He hasn't got a long reach, and he made a move that a guy with a long reach does. Watch Brad Marsh now make the mistake of trying to poke check. Right now. See the move? Oh, he froze him beautifully. Cut around, cuts back out in front. He lost control of the puck a little bit as Marsh grabbed him. But that was a good move by Kelly Miller.
Here's the young man from Michigan State, whose younger brother, Kevin, is at Michigan State. And another Ranger draft pick.
Oh, yeah?
13-16 to go, second period, tied 1-1. Everything you ever wanted to know. We might have the Miller brothers playing here at Madison Square Garden in a year or two.
Could have the Marks brothers.
I'd rather have the Miller brothers. Osborne. Out to center, it's Ruotsalainen.
The Howard brothers.
13 minutes to go. Into the corner, Ruotsalainen, try to center. Didn't get much on it. Rangers keep it in. And now it deflects out to center ice. Flyers have an extra man on as Hospodar returns. For 25 seconds now, remaining in the penalty to Ridley. Almost lost by Ruotsalainen. Picked up there by Eklund. Eklund winds it behind the goal. Sinisalo is there, looking for the man in front. It goes back to the point. Shot by Prop. He's stopped by Van Beesbrook, and he holds it.
There's Brian Prop. You called it a little while ago, Mr. Consistency as far as his game. Johnny Van Beesbrook.
Shot a 78. Mets at St. Louis. It's Tudor for the Cardinals and Darling for the Mets. No score, top of the second. Mets start the series 3 games behind the Cardinals.
Funny, you know, the way the Cardinals switched their pitching rotation. They want that first game real bad.
Now, I'm not going to second guess Davey Johnson, but I would have started Dwight Gooden.
I would have gone right after him.
12:35 to go, second period. 14 seconds to go on the penalty to Mike Ridley. 1-1 the score. Top with the back pass. Erickson fakes the shot. Nice move. Yep. Thomas Erickson comes in. Wrist shot is stopped. Rebound stop. 2 good saves by Van Beesbrook.
He stand in there beautifully.
Sandstrom with the puck. Comes in against Prop with a shot. Save, throws, and Prop has the rebound. Gave it away to Ridley. Teams are at full strength. Prop gets it back. Prop on the boards. Gets it into the Rangers zone. Offside Flyers. 12:09 to go. Second period. 1-1 is the score.
Good saves by Johnny Van Beesbrook in that series right there.
Flyers and Rangers tied 1-1 with 12 minutes to go in the second period. 2 minutes, they'll be changing goaltenders. James Patrick fires the puck all the way down. This will be an icing. Kevin McCarthy comes back to make the touch. 11:49 to go. Rangers have outshot the Flyers 15-11. But it's been quiet here in the second period. 3 shots for the Rangers, just 2 for the Flyers. There's Derek Smith, who had a good rookie year. A lot of youngsters came through for the Flyers last year. Derek Smith, Tocchet, Zezel, Todd Bergen.
Oh, whistling.
Well, Whistle is not in uniform tonight.
Are you walking around here?
Del Samuelson, 6'6", 225.
He is a big boy.
He's got a brother who's 28 years old, Jan
Does
Samuelson,
he have a brother?
who's playing in Sweden.
Tell me about this one now, Sam. You got Kelly Miller, you got Kevin Miller. Come on, give me this other guy.
He's playing for the team that Ted Sater used to coach in Sweden.
Who cares?
We're checking the family tree. Now Esposito has a brother.
Oh, no! Oh, let's go.
Eklund was pulled down, and
Got away with
no
it.
call. Whoa, Brook gets pulled down, and there's no
Okay,
call.
it's even now. Now it's even.
Samuelson to Brook.
The next one will be a penalty.
Kevin McCarthy hit by Brook. Puck sent around the boards. Thomas Eriksson after it. And Eriksson carries out. 11:05 to go in the second period. Eriksson holds. Faked his teammates offside, and they come back out to center ice. Lifted in. Tony Feltrin chases it down. 24-year-old Tony Feltrin. Around for Samuelson. Gagne is tripped up. Puck out in center ice. Hospodar stops it. He's held along the boards. And the Rangers able to knock the puck free. Gagne fires it in. Rose stops it for Dave Barish. Barish fires it out to center. Blocked by Laidlaw. He's hit from behind by Hospodar. And Laidlaw gets back at him. Rose stops the puck. Murray Craven can't control it. Rangers keep it in. Barish picks it up.
You know he's had a real good game on defense, Laidlaw.
Yes, he has. Good feed for Kelly Miller. Across the line. Miller tied up by Barish, holding him. Penalty called. Shot went wide by Helmanen. Loose puck in the corner. And a penalty coming up on the Flyers with 9:59 to go, second period. Rangers have a power play coming up. Score tied 1-1.
Team Square Garden, 9:59 left, second period. Dave Parrish goes off for holding at 10:01. And the Rangers are changing their goaltending. Johnny Van Biesbroek had a great period. He stopped 11 out of 12 shots. And Kissinger is in net now. He allowed 2 goals in the loss Saturday at the Spectrum. A 5-2 loss, of course, was 4-2 really. They scored an empty net. So far he's been in 2 games, and he has a 4 goals against averages, and that's his average at the University of Wisconsin last year. 25 years old, 6-footer, 190 pounds. Is there anybody that's under 6 feet except for Mark Pavlich?
Oh, Van Biesbroek is.
Johnny Bean, that's right, he is.
But he's played well. Van Biesbroek's had a real good training camp, real good preseason. Froze staying in. Their backup goalie tonight is Darren Jensen out of the University of North Dakota. There's Darren Jensen.
He played at Hershey last year. Maybe he's going to come in the third period, like
Where
we
the
saw
Islanders
the Islanders did it. Maybe. Or maybe Froze is going all the way tonight. We're getting ready for the finals.
Talking to Glenn Hanlon this afternoon, and he was saying toward the end of the week they've got to think about playing one of the goalies full game.
I would think that they have to, even though they got 3 games in 3 nights. I think that with the 3 goalies that they have here, not counting this young man here, Terry Kissinger, they should, decide, okay, they got 3 games in a row, 1-1-1 if they want to do that. They're going to carry 25 guys. They're going to have 3 goalies.
I don't think so.
I think
they'll stick with 2. Here's Laidlaw with a shot deflected by Allison over the top. Loose puck. Rangers on a power play. 9:50 to go, second period. 1-1 the score. Laidlaw again. Shoots. Save made by Froze.
Good shot.
And Chychrun has the rebound, but lost it to Steve Patrick. Patrick still with the puck. Back to Laidlaw. Now to Steve Patrick. And taken away momentarily and then cleared by Marsh all the way down.
I see that Dave Brown on the ice since the first period.
Ruotsalainen carries in against Chychrun. He holds up. Back pass to Samuelson. On the boards, Osborne. Now to Steve Patrick. Allison shoots, saved by Froze.
Boy, he was in the right spot, wasn't he?
Steve Patrick back to Ruotsalainen. Rangers have had good shots. Patrick to Ruotsalainen. 2 men in front. The shot wide. Rebound. Chychrun's got it. Chychrun tied up by Osborne and clears the puck. Good play by the rookie Jeff Chychrun. 50 seconds to go in the Rangers power play. In center ice, too far for Pavlich. This will be an icing. Hospodar gets there. 8:40 to go in the second period. Rangers are out shooting the Flyers 17-12. John Van Biesbroek made 11 saves in this stint.
Mr. Ridley. University, yeah?
University of Manitoba.
He was the top Canadian university player, this young man. He's a good player.
Well,
he is a good player, this guy.
His team played against Reg Higgs' team. Reg Higgs coached at the University of Regina, and Higgs knew about him, knew he was a good player, and when he came, he recommended Ridley, and they've signed him as a free agent.
That's a good pick. I love them when they get this free agent, when he makes the team. Not that I'm saying that the kid made the team already,
He's got a shot.
It's
Good shot. Sandstrom was pulled offside. Rangers regroup in center with 25 seconds to go on the power play. Ridley sends it around the boards where it's stopped by Froze. He plays it around the boards, but it's taken away by Pavlich. Sandstrom has the puck. Out to Samuelson. Samuelson to Sandstrom. Sandstrom shoots, save, throws a beauty on a bullet by Sandstrom. And it's clear. Rangers with 4 good shots on this power play. Froze has really looked good. James Patrick for the puck. And the penalty is over. Teams are back at full strength. 7:55 to go, second period, tied 1-1. Sandstrom again. Nice move. He shot it wide. Sandstrom really flying tonight. Dave Farish. Fleisinger couldn't clear it out. Shot from the point goes wide. Behind the net, Laidlaw tied up, double team. Puck along the boards, kept in by Erickson. Zezel chasing for it. We've got something going.
Erickson
along the boards. 2 Swedes fighting?
No, I don't think so. I think they're just holding on to each other right now. Interesting. Now Beck and Sutter come on the ice, and don't they think they should go right to the bench? Now Beck does. Look at Sutter.
He can't get there. Ridley's
such a...
Ridley's bumping him.
No.
He's an agitator.
Yeah, he bumped into Ridley. Believe me, he did. I watched him. Come right out of the penalty box. There is a perfect example. He should have gone right. Right to the damn box.
7:32 to go, second period.
That's right.
All right, Jack.
Sandstrom get 2 minutes each for roughing at 12:28. But they'll still play 5-a-side. The new rule is here. They don't play 4-a-side if the guys get coincidental penalties.
Coincidental minors, no loss of manpower.
Just
on
like
the ice.
the fighting 5-minute major. I don't know. I don't like it. I agree with Wayne Gretzky, who does not like that. And I agree with him.
Puck sent all the way down. Marsh gets there. Brook ties him up. And the puck picked up by Chikrin. Out it comes to Joe Patterson. Feed for Sinisalo. Beck poked it away. Flyers are onside. Along the boards, it's cleared out by Ruotsalainen. Marsh is there. Marsh to Peter Zezel. Across the line, Sinisalo. Feed for Zezel. Zezel gets there and shoots. It's deflected by Ruotsalainen. He sends it around the boards. McPhee after it. Checked by Zezel. McPhee sends it back behind the net. Ruotsalainen hooks it back to McPhee. Up the boards, Gagne clears the zone. Intercepted by Hospodar. And Joe Patterson to the shot. Patterson came over from Detroit in that trade for Sittler.
Yeah, what a great trade.
Yes, it was. And up over the glass into the crowd. Play stopped with 6:32 to go. Kelly Eklund, number 9.
The young man from Sweden.
Did you work with him once in a camp? Were you
I
telling me?
believe that's him. You know, I mean, the names are like what you said.
Per Eric Eklund is his name.
Per Eric Eklund. Okay, there was a young boy when I was doing a hockey school over in Sweden named Per, and I thought his last name was Eklund, and if it is, but I'm not sure.
But very high on him. Top player in Sweden last year. An 8th-round draft pick in 1983. 22 years old.
Maybe you can draft a guy in an 8th round and he has a chance of making it. It's a pretty good draft.
Helmeten and Eklund on the draw. It's loose. Samuelson comes over. It's still loose.
There's
Breaking
Brown.
free is Brown. He couldn't stuff it in. And Kleisinger stops it at the goal line. Good play by Terry Kleisinger.
Well, there was no way that Brown should have broken loose from Samuelson and Feltrin, both of them. You got to just grab his stick if you have to. Now there's Brown. He comes in there, and now comes Feltrin in there. And Brown, just look at him. He's a strong man, that Brown. Comes in and tries to stuff it in there. And Kleisinger comes up with a good save, and Kelly Miller comes back and knocks him over and blocks him out.
Good play by Terry Kleisinger out of the University of Wisconsin. 6:23 to go, second period. 1-1 the score. Defense has been the stressed word in training camp for the Rangers. Team defense. And we're seeing evidence of that in the games they've played here at Madison Square Garden. Hospodar up the boards off the skate of Helminen. This is Eklund again, throwing it into the Ranger zone. Don Maloney getting back for it. Hospodar stopped it at the blue line. Miller was looking to break, couldn't do it. Sent back in. Flyers are offside on the play with 5:52 to go. Don Maloney's been a little frustrated in preseason. Feels he still doesn't have his timing down.
Last week he had a little bit of a pulled groin, and that always slows you down when you have a little bit of a pulled groin like that. And you don't want to really push it so that you pop it and you can't go anymore. So that slowed him down. But he's the type of guy that just has to work hard. And you know, it's not so much sharper with him as really hard work.
Icing called on the Flyers with 5:43 to go.
And Donnie's game is just hard work, man. Work.
And you saw the numbers, 27 points last year, and that was in 37 games. There is Kevin McCarthy.
You remember he was traded in 1978 from Philadelphia for Drew Callender and Dennis Bjerregaard.
Two of the more forgotten names. Dennis Bjerregaard. Bjerregaard came up with good credentials.
Absolutely. And then I remember he played in Team Canada in 1977 when I was over there with Team Canada in Vienna. Dennis Bjerregaard did. Carl Callender, I wonder where he is. That's a name I used to like that. Drew Callender.
McCarthy was the Flyers' first-round pick in 1977, picked 17th overall, traded to Vancouver where he played 4.5 years, and played a half season with the Penguins.
They got him at right wing right now.
That's where he played most of last year when he went to Pittsburgh. 1-1 the score with 5:25 to go in the second period. Things have slowed down in the second period. It's become a tight checking game. Body's been bumping. Osborne shot. Nice save by Froese. Osborne again, and Froese hugs the post, covers the rebound. Osborne does some pushing and shoving with Poulin.
And they're all in it now.
Yeah.
Look at the goalie. Get out of the way, Froese. Somebody's punching Osborne.
Could be Greg Smith, I believe.
Yeah, and now James Patrick is with somebody.
He's with Poulin.
Well, he got Poulin a good shot, and Poulin held on, or else he was going down. Boy, did he ever give him a good shot. Poulin's coming back now.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Osborne and Greg Smith still going after one another. Kevin McCarthy is paired off with Steve Patrick.
That won't do anything right there, I don't think. Kevin McCarthy is not the type of guy to go for a fight. And there's James Patrick and Poulin again. Those two are the ones. They got to be tired. Poulin is cut pretty good.
Poulin's got a cut over the eye.
Patrick got him with a first shot, a good one, a real good one.
I want to tell you something. In the off-season, James Patrick trained with Donnie Lalonde, a professional boxer.
Is that right?
Donnie Lalonde told me that he worked with some players up in Winnipeg.
But Dave, Poulin is not a sucker puncher. But the guy, who's this guy again?
Greg Smith wants to get in there.
Well, Osborne should not be going. They should grab Smith and get him out of there.
Smith wants more. And here we go again. Now it's Mike Allison in there with Brad Marsh.
Well, Sam, I guess my prediction was right.
You were exactly on the button.
Now, Mark Osborne's gone off the ice now. Or has he? Yes, he has, and I don't understand. He should have never gone off until the other guys have gone off. Absolutely never gone off.
Patrick and Poulin still squared off, holding on. Allison got involved, and he's got
Brad Marsh.
Got a hold on Brad Marsh.
I think they'll let go. Patrick's got somebody down. That's Steve Patrick. And you can see
Kevin McCarthy.
And they won't do anything. And I think what it's all about. And Patrick, James Patrick and Poulin are still going at it. They just rested.
There they go again.
And this guy is still trying to get on. It's
Greg Smith. He won't get off the ice. The linesman, Diffuso, trying to hold him off.
James Patrick is throwing him or what? There
Now,
goes, Kevin McCarthy trying to get in there.
And now the
goalie's in there.
Rose is in there, and here comes Kleisinger out of his net.
And they should.
Oh, man. It is all broken loose. Here comes Kleisinger right after Froze. Oh, my.
It's all broken loose now.
And Froze's helmet is off, and Kleisinger's all over him.
Okay, he won't punch him. He'll just hold him down the way it should be. Pulling again, and James Patrick, they finally separate.
Wow.
Steve Patrick had Brad Marsh. Now he's letting him up. Or is that Kevin McCarthy? Yeah, he's letting him up. Now Kleisinger's got sitting on Froze, and there's no way Froze can do anything.
Allison is still on top of Marsh.
And there's no way Marsh will do anything right now. And he's going to let him up, and that's good. Okay, it's time to stop this stuff right now. I think. Be careful, Mr. Kleisinger. This is the NHL. Be careful, my young man friend there, because it could happen.
And Greg Smith still doesn't want to leave. Well, you know there are going to be some game misconducts out of this one.
Okay, now he's trying to get Allison off of Brad Marsh, and Mike Allison should just let it go right now. Brad Marsh isn't going
He's got him pinned. This is wrestling at the Garden here. He's got the pin right there, that's for sure.
And there's no way that's going.
Fight night at the Garden. As the Rangers and Flyers, they've been notorious for this down through the years, and it broke loose here.
The goalies are going to get kicked out of the game, it looks like. So the goalies are going to get kicked out of the game. So that means Van Beesbroek is
going to come back.
Jensen, they're going to go back in there.
Well,
Allison lets up Brad Marsh now. Brad Marsh wasn't really fighting in there. He just got grabbed. And the Rangers and Philadelphia Flyers going at it.
I think one thing.
We're all going to be kicked out, I guess. Boy, I'll tell you, does that get you in shape? Oh, that is tiring right there, boy.
I'll say this, as far as the Rangers are concerned, they're sending a message. That is, they're not going to back down.
Well, they're not going to back down, and what I like even more is that they're sticking together,
for one another. 5:13 to go, second period. It's time for the officials to figure out the penalties.
All right. And sticks on the ice, and you know, I'll tell you, they showed great restraint in this sense. The guys on the bench did not come off.
Right.
And I got to give the coaches credit for that, and the referee, because they kept those guys on the bench, and it could have been, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, it would have been everybody out there.
Everybody would have been out there, and you see Paul Holmgren.
He's been in a few of those babies, I'll tell you.
He's mixed it up.
He's mixed it up real well.
The assistant coach.
So
well, it all started way back when with Greg Smith and Mark Osborne in front of the net, and now they're trying to sort it out. Craven, as the acting captain, is or the alternate captain, is over there with Rangers captain Barry Beck.
Well, Jensen and Van Beesbroek. Now Van Beesbroek will go back in the net, and Jensen will come in. There's Ted Sater. He's asking telling Donnie Maloney to say something. Here's his assistant, Reg Higgs. He's talking up here to Jack Birch up here. I'll tell you, that Pat DiPuzzo did a hell of a job holding off that Greg Smith, because that Greg Smith is a big boy.
He is.
He's 6'4", I think it was, 6'4", 200 pounds. I think that's what you said before, Sam.
6'3". Yeah, the other Chickman is 6'4".
Okay.
But that was 6'3" last year, so by now he could be. Mets and Cardinals still scoreless, bottom of the third. Opening game of the 3-game series in St. Louis. Ron Darling for the Mets, John Tudor for the Cardinals.
Well,
so John Van Beesbroek will get to play almost a full game. Poor Terry Kleisinger here at the Garden got to play about 5 minutes.
But I'm going to tell you something. He gained and probably earned a lot of respect from his teammates.
From the players, yeah.
From his players, for sure, and even his coaches. He had to. but Froese was the first one that came out and
I don't know why Froese did.
Well, he just tried to get Poulin because James Patrick off Poulin.
I know why Froese did. He might have been tired. He said, hey, I've played my half game. I want out.
Maybe he was freezing to death. Oh, boy.
The regular season is not far away, and there are still some season tickets available for New York Rangers home games. Limited seating in the green 300 series and in the blue mezzanine section can still be purchased on a season-long basis. For further information, please call 212-563-8000 tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. 212-563-8000 for information on how you can become a season ticket holder for New York Rangers home games. And the home games begin October the 10th, the season opener right here at Madison Square Garden, the Rangers and the Washington Capitals.
Looking forward to that. It's going to be, I think, a good season, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this sort of stuff. Please, folks, don't get me wrong. This isn't what hockey's all about.
Well, there's one thing. The Rangers have a lot to make up for last season. It was a big disappointment.
Yeah.
And the Patrick division is getting tougher. Pittsburgh is not a pushover. New Jersey's not a pushover.
They sure
There'll
aren't.
be a battle for playoff spot.
It's going to be a very interesting year, I believe, and you can bet that this guy here, Mike Keenan, and his assistants, Paul Holmgren and
E.J. McGuire.
Hey, and how about Billy Barber and Bernie Perron? I love when those guys get jobs like that. You know, that's terrific.
I saw Bernie before the game. He looks great. He played in that old-timers game in Philadelphia.
I know he did, yeah.
They shut him out. Remaining preseason games tomorrow night. That game is in Glen Falls. Then Friday night, the game against the Red Wings is in Troy, New York at RPI, Rangers home game. So if you're up in that area, get out to that one. Friday night at the Nassau Coliseum against the Islanders, and then that's Saturday night against the Islanders. Then Sunday night, an 8 o'clock start against the Devils at the New Haven Coliseum. Prior to that, the Rangers farm team, the New Haven Nighthawks, will play Springfield. So a doubleheader at the New Haven Coliseum.
Oh,
Preseason hockey.
A lot of hockey over there. And you know what's funny, Sam, before you go on with that, is they got the two squads, and they're going to have the two squads. See, looking at that.
This program is authorized by Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this event, including the imposition of a charge for viewing the program without the express written consent of Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated, is prohibited. Let's pick up the rest of the penalties.
Game misconduct. Number 5, Kevin McCarthy. 5 minutes for fighting. Game misconduct. Number 8, Brad Marsh. 5 minutes for fighting.
No.
Game misconduct.
I don't agree with that one.
Number 35, Bob Froese. 2 minutes for leaving the crease. 5 minutes for fighting. Game misconduct. And now the penalties for New York. Number 3, James Patrick. 5 minutes for fighting. 10 minutes misconduct and a game misconduct. Number 5, Barry Beck.
Barry Beck.
2 minutes for roughing. 5 minutes for fighting. Game misconduct.
Barry Beck. They got the wrong guy. Barry Beck wasn't even on the ice.
Take that back. There's no penalty to Barry Beck.
No kidding.
Number 11, Steve Patrick. 5 minutes for fighting, game misconduct. Number 14, Mike Allison. 5 minutes for fighting, game misconduct. Number 19, Mark Osborne. 5 minutes for fighting, game misconduct. Number 44, Terry Kleisinger. 2 minutes for leaving the crease. 5 minutes for fighting, game misconduct.
But you see, now, I don't understand, okay? You go by the initiator
Of all
on that
penalties,
respect. Now, this kid did not leave his crease until he saw the other goalie in there, so they should have an extra 2 minutes minor penalty. Okay, it's only a preseason, but darn it, if you're going to do the darn rules, do them right.
I also think, Phil, in a situation like that where the melee gets out of hand, you just got to throw everybody out of the game.
But they should have an extra 2 minutes for the first guy to come lead the crease.
First man to leave it.
The crease,
Yeah.
okay? Okay, yeah, he gets 2 minutes for what is he supposed to do? Sit there and stay there while his teammate is on top of each other? No way.
Top of the fourth in St. Louis, still no score. Darling for the Mets, Tudor for the Cardinals.
Shall we run through these penalties again, or are you sick of them too?
Go ahead.
Okay, Poulin and James Patrick, each 5 minutes for fighting, 10 for misconducts and game misconducts. Smith and Steve Patrick, okay, 5 minutes for fighting and game misconducts, and Smith gets also a 10-minute misconduct. McCarthy gets 5 minutes for fighting, and Marsh gets 5 minutes for fighting plus game misconducts. Throws 2 for leaving the crease, 5 for fighting, game misconduct, and who cares about the rest? I'm tired of it.
They're all out of the game, let's put it that way.
That's right.
The minor penalties went to the goaltenders for leaving the crease.
They got a lot of room on the bench now.
The score is 1-1. There's just under 5 minutes to go in the second period as we get back to hockey.
Let's hope.
And these guys...
There goes Brown and Barry back again.
Boy. There it is.
I knew that was going to happen.
Not getting back to hockey.
I knew that was going to happen. And there's another one.
Yeah.
Carson is punching Thomas Sandstrom. And Sandstrom doesn't know how to fight. Look at Beck and Brown.
And now Derek Smith and Mark Pavlich in front of the net.
Oh, boy, that's a mismatch. Oh, come on. That's Patterson with Pavlich. That's good. Look at Beck and Brown.
Yeah, it is Patterson. And Beck has again gotten the upper hand on Dave Brown. He's saying, listen, you better cut it out right now. Well,
that's right.
That isn't friendly conversation. They're not talking about good restaurants to go to after the game.
They sure aren't. They sure aren't. And they're holding each other, and I don't understand. There goes another one. Somebody else. Ruotsalainen. Somebody is.
And here come the Rangers off the bench.
Number 6.
Here come the Rangers off the bench. Don Maloney led the charge off the bench.
Oh no, Hospital's got Samuelson. That is really trouble. That's trouble right there, guys.
Everybody off the bench. This has really gotten way out of hand. This is just totally out of hand now.
Well, number 6 picked on Ruotsalainen. Here comes somebody off. Look at this. Who is that?
Carson, I think that's Carson just skating around looking for anybody to go at. Now it's a 2-on-1 over there. Don
Bobby Brook
is
gets in there. Bobby Brook
no,
gets
that's
in there.
Feltrin.
Here comes somebody from back off the bench now. What is going on here,
Patrick
guys?
is coming. Looks like he wants to come. No, that's Osborne who seems to want to get back on the ice. Feltrin is 32. Derek Smith, Bob Brook.
You know who's underneath that is Beck and Brown. And they got to watch their hands. That's when guys get their feet, their skates, their hands all cut. Eddie Hosper's got Samuelson, and you know, I know Samuelson's big, but Hosper is a kind of a guy who can really throw him. And I'll tell you, you got to be very careful right now.
Boy, this is dangerous. This has just gotten totally out of hand. They've forgotten what they came here to do. And they've got to clear the ice. They've got to stop the game right now.
Right now, that's right.
To cool things off.
George McPhee is in there with somebody. And there goes Ruotsalainen again. Somebody's got Ruotsalainen. I don't know who it is, but Donnie Maloney should say, okay, I'm going off, but don't go off.
Well, now, Maloney wants to get back on. Ruotsalainen,
Well, you know, he should say to DePruz, okay, I'm going off, and then he goes off, and then come back on again. Oh, somebody just got thrown down to the ice and got hurt. Was that McPhee? Oh, gee, look at this.
Punches are flying. Feltrin and Rich Sutter. Rich Sutter getting the best of this at this point.
Is he ever? He's on the left hand.
Oh, my. This is what I just hate to see.
And Beck and Brown are still down. And I'm glad to see Kevin McCarthy right now with Ruotsalainen, I believe. Or no, it's Eklund.
Check out the two goalies. They're just standing quietly.
And that's the way they should right now.
Beesbrook and Jensen. There they are.
I'll tell you one thing, though. The good side, it sure gets you in shape.
Wow.
Just wrestling with all that equipment on.
It's so dangerous.
It is.
So dangerous. Hospodar and Samuelson. Hospodar trying to trip Samuelson as they wrestle in front of the Flyers bench.
And Beck and Brown are still there. There's Samuelson and Hospodar. Now, you got to watch this, because if Samuelson lets him go, Hospodar is going to turn around and probably nail him one. Sutter is pulling on Beck's hair.
I wonder what the coaches are thinking right now. What are the coaches
Okay,
thinking?
right now they're going, I wish this would stop so we get this game going. But in the meantime, they're saying, boy, I'm glad to see my team sticking up for each other. That's the only good point I can say in this.
Samuelson using that 6'6", 225 to just hold Hospodar in place. Hospodar trying to trip him. Look at Samuelson.
Samuelson, don't let go. That's all I can tell you, kid. Don't let go.
Well, they've gotten some players off. That's Patterson and Pavlich.
I don't think Patterson wants to go now with the
Hospodar got free. Let's see what happens here.
I guarantee he'll throw. Guarantee it. He ripped the name right off.
Yeah, there he is. And McPhee goes after Hospodar. And Samuelson comes back in. Will it ever stop? Will it ever stop now? And what do? Do you call out the specials to get?
No, there's nothing you can do, Sam. You just got to let it go out, I guess. You just got to let these guys get tired where they cannot throw one more punch. And that's the only thing to do. And I'll tell you, there's got to be a lot of investigation in this game. They'll be playing the tapes about this game over and over again.
Guys leaving the bench. There may not be enough players left to play the game.
Meanwhile, back at the bench. But I knew Hospodar as soon as he got loose would throw. I mean, that's automatic.
Dave Brown.
Brad McCourt and DePuzzo have done a heck of a job getting those big guys off. There's Barry Beck.
Samuelson.
Beltran. And you see this, Patterson's trying to flip Pavlich. And Mark, even though he's a small guy, he's not a weak kid. He's strong.
Oh, he is strong.
He holds in there, and I wish they would break that one up.
There's just so much two linesmen can do.
That's right. That's right.
Look at these. They're ready. Those guys are ready to charge back on the ice.
Okay. And there's Pavlich and
wow.
Joe Patterson. Mark Pavlich and Merrill Ruotsalainen.
4:48 remaining in the second period.
I think what they should do right now is call this period.
Absolutely.
Organize everything, do the ice, and play 14:48 or 24 minutes and 48 seconds in the last period. I thought I was going to get home early.
Well, they already threw 6 players out of the game with game misconduct.
Yeah.
So they were down to 14 players. And now what happens when they sort these penalties out?
Well, Sam, you got your skates with you?
Oh, I could go pick up a quick pair at the sporting goods store.
That Lindsey Carson came back out after he was in the runway already. He came back out. He pounded on Sandstrom. Lindsey Carson did.
Oh wow!
I tell you, DePuzzo and McCourt have to be given a lot of credit for this. They really worked hard.
Really did a great job. Obviously, outnumbered, they had to go one by one and pry guys apart.
Well, I think that's what they're going to do, Sam. They're going to just hold it off and play the third period in entirety right now.
Okay.
Wow.
The period has been suspended with 4:48 to go. The score is tied 1-1. We will sort things out when we come back. You're watching Rangers hockey on Madison Square Garden Network.
Floor, which is ice level. Things are pretty calm right now, and both teams, I think, will be a little bit maybe more in control in this third period. But you got a feeling at the end of the period that the two teams were exhausted, and when they came off, both Coach Mike Keenan and Ted Sater were very upset, and understandably so. But as far as this third period is concerned, things are much quieter now at ice level. I can't promise you anything that will happen or won't happen, but just to give you an idea of the feeling. Back upstairs.
Ted Sater checking things out. Right now, the teams have 1 goaltender apiece and 8 skaters.
I just was looking at that, and rather than tell you the guys that have the penalties, I want to tell you the guys that are on the ice. How do you like that? How could Pavlich be on the ice? Oh, he gets 2 minutes for roughing, that's why. Okay, Gagne is on the ice. Sandstrom is on the ice. Sandstrom? He's got to get a penalty, too. Bob Brook, Ruotsalainen, Ridley, Kelly Miller, Gagne, That's it for those guys,
And
right?
Pavlich, as you mentioned, right.
Well, Pavlich and Sandstrom are going to be in the penalty box for 2 minutes each for roughing. Now for the Flyers. Let's see who they have there. They have Chikrin. Oh, he's played all game anyway. They have Eklund,
Right.
Patterson, who will have a 4-minute penalty for roughing. Let's see who else.
Farish.
Sinisalo, Zezel. Did you say Farish?
Farish.
Farish, yeah. Erickson.
And you mentioned Eklund.
Eklund,
okay.
yeah. The rest of the guys are gonzo.
So they started the night with 2 goaltenders and 18 skaters, and now they're down to 1 and 8.
Well, let me tell you the guys that are gone. Carson, Hospodar, Craven, Rich Sutter, Brown. Okay, and for the Rangers, Maloney, Feltrin, McPhee, Beck, and Samuelson. Plus, the other guys that were gone for the fight before, for the Rangers, James Patrick, Steve Patrick, Allison Osborne, and Plessinger, the goaltender. And for the Flyers, Poulin, Smythe, McCarthy, Marsh, and Froese. Boy, I would like to be out there now with all those. Just imagine all that ice time.
All right.
Isn't that great?
Now, we start the remainder of the second
4 on
period.
3.
4-on-3 Flyers.
Look at that bench. Look at a shot of that bench, the benches in a minute.
The lonely benches. Van Beesbrook in goal for the Rangers. Darren Jensen in goal for the Flyers.
Gonna have more coaches than players.
This is Eklund. And Sinisalo across the line. Sinisalo with a shot to save by Van Beesbrook. Van Beesbrook will get some work.
Well, Bob Brook is going to get work on defense. There's only Ruotsalainen on defense for the Rangers.
Ruotsalainen, Brook, and Kelly Miller are out there. Dave Farish with the puck. Power play for the Flyers. The feed to Eklund. Walks in. Still has the puck behind the net. Centers. Comes back to Farish. Farish across to Thomas Eriksson. Now to Farish. Minute 15 to go in the power play. Rangers will wind up with a 2-man advantage. That shot by Eriksson. A nice save by Van Beesbrook. And the Rangers able to clear. 1 minute to go in the penalties to Sandstrom and Pavlich. 4 minutes to go in the penalty to Lindsey Carson.
There's a break.
Here comes Helminen. He shoots. He scores. Raimo Helminen, a shorthanded goal.
He intercepted a pass just by the red or blue line and went in. Jensen got a piece of it, and it just trickled in because Jensen was back right into the net. He wasn't out at all. Watch Eriksson give this puck away right here. Bad pass. Farish moving up with him. Here comes Helminen. Watch him fake to his right, move to his left, and watch the right goal post. Just hits and then goes in right underneath his arm.
2-1 Rangers is Raimo Helminen. Scores the goal.
His second goal in preseason at 16:23 of the second period. You have to remember, it's still the second period. Short-handed goal.
4-on-3 situation for another 49 seconds. Rangers will get 2 men back and wind up with a 3-minute power play. Flyers come in. The puck taken away by Ruotsalainen. Good play. He's pulled down. Rangers recover the puck. Ridley, number 39, along the board.
Looks like Ridley's playing back with Ruotsalainen. I guess they're playing forwards up.
Brook is back on defense. Gagne and Ridley up front. 4-on-3 as the Flyers come across. Craven comes in.
Good
Tied
play.
up. No, that wasn't Craven. It was Derek Smith, excuse me. Puck taken away by Brook. Off the boards for Gagne. Gagne tied up by Farish. Rides him along the boards. 5 seconds, and the Rangers will have a power play for 3 minutes. Thomas Eriksson for Zezel. It's behind them. 2 men return. Rangers now have a 5-on-4 advantage. Zezel tied up by Gagne, ridden down. And 2:45 remains in the penalty to Carson.
Pavlich is going to the bench. There's no use going to the bench.
Outside Rangers.
Pavlich is going to the bench, and I was saying there's no use going there, Mark. There's nobody there to go on you. They go on for you. Look at this. There's the bench.
Where is everybody?
They're invisible. There's Kelly Miller, Ridley, and Dave Gagne. And that is the Ranger bench. And there's 3 guys on the Flyer bench.
Rangers with a 2-1 lead, 2:30 to go in the second period. Eklund has the puck. Back to Chychrun, and across it comes to Eriksson. Thomas Eriksson clears all the way down. 2:10 to go in the period. 2:20 to go in the penalty. The Flyers penalty. Ruotsalainen. Nice feed for Sandstrom. And he just couldn't tee it up. Sandstrom sends Sinisalo down. Brook with a feed to Helminen. Helminen to Ruotsalainen. Ruotsalainen shoots it across.
We try to pass that. We try to pass that to Pavlich.
Brook with a shot to save by Jensen. Sandstrom to Pavlich. Checked by Sinisalo. Back pass to Brook. Brook shoots. Blocked in front. And Eklund comes away with the puck. Minute and a half to go in the period. Rangers on the power play, leading 2-1. When the period ends, they'll switch sides and start period number 3 right away. Ruotsalainen tries to get around Farish. Ruotsalainen sets up the power play in front for Gagne, broken up by Chychrun. Gagne has the puck. Gagne winds and fires. It was blocked. The feed in deep, back for Gagne, missed the shot.
It was a good
pass from Ridley.
That was a good play by those two guys.
1 minute to go in the second period. Gagne digs the puck free to Brook. Cross ice. Helminen winds and shoots. Save, rebound, another save by Jensen. Gagne with a rebound. And Darren Jensen comes up with a save.
Dave Gagne right there. Jensen makes the save. Helminen from the point. Okay, the puck comes across to Helminen. Now watch number 9 on the left of your screen. You'll see him come into the play. Here's the shot. The rebound comes in, and here he comes. He shoots it again, and Jensen's right there. Puts it right in the midsection.
Darren Jensen, drafted by the Hartford Whalers in the 5th round in 1980, signed by the Flyers as a free agent.
Played
1984.
He played last year at Hershey, where he had 12 wins, 20 losses, a 3.99 goals against average. And talking to Bobby Clark, said they didn't really have a great of a team down there, and the kid played pretty well.
Teammate of James Patrick at the University of North Dakota. Fighting Sioux. 52 seconds to go in the second period. 2-1 Rangers. Rangers on a power play. Ruotsalainen. Back to Brook. To Pavlich. Hit the outside of the net. Ridley to Pavlich. Back pass to Brook. Brook with a shot. Deflected wide. 35 seconds to go in the period. Flyers can't clear. Knocked down by Brook with a good play. Hand pass. Whistled against the Rangers.
I disagree with that call.
That's right.
Remember last year we talked about it again? I mean, that is not like it's an intentional pass, you know? It's just knocked down. If it's intentional, yeah, I can understand it. But we've complained about that. The players have complained about that for years and years, and they still call it.
32 seconds to go in the second period.
What, they're allowing them to change now? They are allowing them to change outside the blue line, which they're not supposed to.
Could be a special rule in this case because there are so few players that they'd be so tired you can go to the bench.
I see.
They may have broken the rule for this one.
I see.
Well, it is a power play situation. You are allowed to change during
the power play is over.
No. Rangers have a man advantage for another 44 seconds.
I don't see anybody in the penalty box. I know.
Flyers have 4 skaters on ice. The invisible man is being penalized.
Well, why isn't there a guy in the penalty box?
Can't spare him. Pavlich with the puck. Rangers man advantage. Brook has it. Brook to Pavlich. 15 seconds to go in the period. Cross ice speed. The shot went wide. Shot by Sandstrom. Chychrun bangs it off the board. Sandstrom has the puck. Sandstrom to Helminen. Helminen, 5 seconds in the period. Shot by Ruotsalainen. Save is made. Rebound. Helminen in the period comes to an end. 12 seconds remain.
I don't understand. Put in the penalty box, okay? The penalty's up. Who's going to go on the ice? Who's on first?
I think what they're doing is they'll come off the bench.
How could they do that?
The second period is over. 2-1 Rangers. We'll be back with a third period from Madison Square Garden. This is New York Rangers hockey.
Madison Square Garden, we're about to start the third period with the Rangers leading the Flyers 2-1. Shots on goal in that second period. 14 for the Rangers, 6 for the Flyers.
Third period underway, and the remaining seconds of that power play come to an end. Sinisalo went into the penalty box return. Teams are at full strength. Gagne throws it cross ice. Brook plays it. Pass blocked by Eklund. Brook, nice feed to Gagne. Gagne, cross ice. Ridley shoots and scores! Mike Ridley, the rookie from the University of Manitoba, trying to make the team, has scored again in Madison Square Garden.
What a great feed from Dave Gagne. Bobby Brook kept it in along the boards and put it over. Watch Gagne stop and slide it right over as Kelly Miller gets knocked down by Dave Parrish in a good shot on the far side past Jensen. Ridley scores, and he's on defense, you know that? Second goal in preseason for Mike Ridley.
He's got good size, and they moved him back. Gagne again continues to impress with some good play. Rangers lead 3-1. Just underway in the third period. Thomas Eriksson comes in and shoots. It's wide. Zezel couldn't stop it. Fell down. And Dave Parrish picks up the puck. Parrish waves everybody into position. Fires it up the middle. Rangers break it up. Gagne has the puck. Thomas Eriksson back. Kelly Miller on him. Eriksson, bad pass. And Jensen had to clear it aside. Gagne knocks it away again. Picked up by Parrish. And he clears the zone.
That goal, Ridley a second from Gagne and Brook at 24 seconds of the third period.
Second assist for Bob Brook in the game. Brook has had a real good preseason. Taken away by Gagne, and then lost it to Sinisalo. Ilkka Sinisalo comes down. Brook is back. Sinisalo goes to the backhand. Stop. Save by Van Beesbrook off Eklund.
Good save.
Gagne. Cross with Pavlich. Pavlich along the boards, looking. Cross ice feed. Ruotsalainen. His wrist shot was blocked. Shot by Brook. Saved by Jensen. Rebound is cleared. And Ruotsalainen has it. 2 minutes gone by in the third period. Rangers with a 3-1 lead. Hellman in a shorthanded goal. Broke the 1-1 tie. And Ridley, the goal to give the Rangers a 2-goal lead.
You know, Sam, even though there was a lot of this maybe in the early 70s, I never saw so many players kicked out of a game. I mean, there were always enough players, like 14 or 15 guys, not just 8 skaters.
Those times, I guess a lot of guys got 10-minute misconduct rather than game misconduct.
Right. That's right.
Here's Parrish with the puck. Parrish comes across the line. Parrish gets it. Parrish shoots high and wide. Comes to Zezel along the boards. He shoots. The deflection is stopped. Rebound is still loose. Brook trying to find it. Knocks it away. And the Rangers get out. What a save by Van Beesbrook off that deflected shot.
Van Beesbrook has played very well tonight.
Here come the Flyers. Derek Smith across the line. Smith comes in and gets dumped by Bob Brook. Pavlich sends out Helmanen. Helmanen across the line. Backhander is stopped. Parrish takes the rebound. Nice move by Raimo Helmanen. 16:50 to go, third period. Rangers lead 3-1. Ruotsalainen plays the puck. Eklund on him. Ruotsalainen overskated. In comes Ruotsalainen again. Eklund is there. It's frozen with 16:38 to go in the third period. Rangers leading 3-1.
John Van Beesbrook made a couple of good saves right there on Eklund, who was one. Okay, let's take a look at, here's Zezel shooting. There's the deflection. That was by Patterson. And a good save by Johnny Van Beesbrook. And Bobby Brook cleared out. And Ridley had that Patterson all tied up.
Rangers have outshot the Flyers 28-17. John Van Beesbrook getting extra work tonight.
Ridley continues to impress me also.
Got good size, skates well, stick handles well. Good-looking player.
But I'm impressed too about him that he's a smart player. Nice
Feed
ball.
for Sandstrom onside. He's stopped by Jensen. Good save by Darren Jensen. And Sandstrom is checked by Chikrin. And here we go again.
Chikrin this time just kept smashing Sandstrom across the back, sent him in to the boards, and Sandstrom and Chikrin
Guess we haven't seen the end of the fighting yet.
Don't kick. Don't kick. Come on. That's one thing that would be death to me, I'll tell you. Kicking. That's one of the guys a long time ago, I never forgave him for it. 1972 kicked in Team Canada in Sweden. I never forgive him for it. He kicked one of the players. That's when you can get really injured.
Sandstrom being led to the penalty box. Chychrun also.
Okay, let's take a look at Sandstrom. Now watch Chychrun. Okay, here's Sandstrom. He's being hooked. One hands it, and then he just got whacked. And then he gets cross-checked around the back, and they kept on going in the corner there.
Chychrun hooked him, cross-checked him, and then punched him.
And the reason he did that was because Sandstrom going by the net, like all good goal scorers do, he took an extra swipe at that puck because it was loose.
Larry Gregson talking to Bob Brook and Ilka Sinisalo. And let's see what we have on the board now.
Well, they keep going.
Jeff Chychrun receives 2 minutes for hooking and 2 minutes for roughing.
Okay. And I think Sandstrom probably get 2 minutes for roughing.
Of New York, Thomas Sandstrom receives 2 minutes for roughing.
That's exactly
Time of all penalties, 3 minutes, 32 seconds.
And the Rangers will wind up with a power play. 2 minutes.
They're running out of players. Now, come on, Mike. You can't play chess with only 4 guys. It's like having 4 pawns. How are you going to play chess?
Ted Sater on the other side.
Well, there's not much you can do here, but just keep rotating the players.
Well, you may get down to 1 goaltender and 5 skaters, and that'll be it for the rest of the night. And whoever is left standing wins. 16:28 to go in the third period. 3-1 Rangers.
16:28 left. Oh my Lord.
If you're tuning in late, yeah, it's early in the third period. We had lots of fights. 11 players ejected on each team.
They keep on going. The face-off now is to the left. The goaltender Jensen.
Well, you know, it could make Ted Sater's decision on who to play tomorrow night easier. The guys who were kicked out are well rested. They can just go on up to Glen Falls.
Well, he's already got the team, I think, already ready for tomorrow night. Patterson is serving the 2-minute penalty to Chychrun. So that leaves 2 Philadelphia
2 guys on the bench.
2 for the Rangers.
Now with the 2 penalties, now the Rangers have the 5-on-4 advantage right here. 16:10 to go. And Pavlich carries. Rangers power play, 5-on-4 skating advantage. Double penalties to Chychrun for hooking and roughing. And Sandstrom getting the 2 for roughing. There's Dave Gagne.
And make a change of players here. A wholesale change, but they are allowing him. It is a power play, so they're allowing him to make the change. Look at this. What a game that must be.
No score.
Top of the 7th.
Gagne with the puck. The Ruotsalainen. And here's Brook. Tries to beat Thomas Eriksson, who hooks him, slows him up. Brook has the puck. Rangers on a power play, leading 3-1. Derek Smith couldn't clear. Ruotsalainen feeds Gagne. Now to Brook for the shot. Deflected off the glove, off the stick of Miller and off the glove of Darren Jensen. And Dave Farish will carry clear. Farish, the one-time Ranger, throws it ahead, deflected off the linesman, Pat DePuzzo. That's all he needed, right? Was the puck to hit him. He's been playing referee of boxing matches all night long.
Oh, boy. Now, who could Holmgren be talking to up here? E.J. McGuire?
E.J. McGuire's on the other side, upstairs in the press box.
Yeah. I see.
That'll be the alignment this year as Paul Holmgren gets his feet wet as an assistant coach. E.J. McGuire will work upstairs.
One thing about Philadelphia, they do take care of theirs, don't they? They really do. Yes. Billy Barber, also assistant coach.
Bernie Perrant.
You got to give credit to the Snyders. for that.
Puck cleared all the way down. 50 seconds to go in the Rangers power play. 15-15 to go in the third period. Ruotsalainen has the puck. Leaves it for Helminen and gets it back. Now Mike Ridley. Raimo Helminen tied up by Thomas Eriksson. Barish tries to clear it and does. Half a minute to go. 4 Rangers preseason games remain after this one. Rangers and Red Wings in Glen Falls tomorrow night, and Rangers and Red Wings in Troy, New York at RPI. That's a Rangers home game. If you're in the area in Troy Friday night, get out and see the Rangers and the Red Wings. Should be a good one. Saturday night, Rangers and Islanders at the Nassau Coliseum. Sunday, Rangers and New Jersey Devils at the New Haven Coliseum in New Haven, Connecticut. Rangers home game preceded by New Haven Nighthawks and Springfield Indians. Here come the Flyers 2-on-1. And a save by Van Beesbrook off Joe Patterson. Glove save by Van Beesbrook. Beauty.
Yeah, he's been sharp. He's been very sharp tonight. Patterson puts that puck right there, and Van Beesbrook has the glove in the right place. Here comes Patterson, and he snaps it. And Van Beesbrook has that glove right in the right place and makes the save on the short side.
Joe Patterson came from the Detroit Red Wings last year.
I think he's another guy that has a place in that team, especially with Bergen down.
That's a strange situation.
Yeah.
Todd Bergen, who played so well for the Flyers, especially in the playoffs, and big kid with a lot of talent, and decided not to come to camp, decided he wanted to concentrate on golf.
Well, that's his decision, and if he becomes very good, then he can make more money at it.
And I think the feeling by a lot of people is a couple of months he might change his mind and come back.
Like Clark told me before the game, he says it's open for him.
Gagne, side of the net, centers, and it's taken away momentarily. Sandstrom couldn't keep it in. Flyers try to get out. Patterson shoots in the Ranger zone. Teams are at full strength on the ice, that is. Total of 9 players aside, including the goaltenders right now. Pavlich with the puck. 13:30 to go. Third period, 3-1 Rangers. Ridley has one of the goals and comes in and shoots. Saved by Darren Jensen. Jensen leaving it there for Thomas Eriksson. In the corner, he gave it away to Gagne. Gagne tied up by Eklund. In comes Ridley. Quick whistle. Bruce Beck, what's it look like at ice side?
Well, Sam, the following players have been ejected from the game for the Rangers: Laidlaw, James Patrick, Beck, Feltrin, Samuelson, Steve Patrick, Maloney, Allison, Osborne, McPhee, and Kleisinger. For the Flyers, McCarthy, Marsh, Hospodar, Greg Smith, Rich Sutter, Carson, Poulin, Brown, Prop, Craven, and Froze. 18 still remain. 22 have been ejected from the game, and the fans are starting to chant "Suit up, Rosen and Esposito."
There's no truth to the rumor that Bruce Beck got into a fight with the rival announcer from the Flyers. No, that didn't happen. Bruce would never do that. Rangers lead 3-1. Gagne with the puck. Back pass, Ruotsalainen. The drive is high off the glass. Comes to Brook. Keeps it in. Cross-ice speed. Kelly Miller after it. Miller checked by Patterson. Nice move by Miller. Miller.
Nice move.
Feeds for Gagne. Taken away by Dave Farish. Farish clears the zone. Bob Brook is there. Gagne sends it back in. Next time you'll see Rangers hockey will be Thursday night, October the 10th, right here on Madison Square Garden Network. The season opener, Rangers and Washington Capitals at 7:30. Eklund sending it across.
Good play by Ruotsalainen that time, taking out Sinisalo coming across.
Brook trying to take it out, couldn't do it. Sandstrom was tied up by Derek Smith, and Brook has the puck again. 12:25 to go in the third period. Rangers lead 3-1. Ellie Eklund comes in. Eklund feed across, quick shot, save Van Beesbrook. And the puck taken out by Raimo Helminen. Comes out with Ruotsalainen. There's the feed to Ruotsalainen. Ruotsalainen checked by Eriksson. Back pass for Helminen. He was tied up. Zezel has the puck for Philadelphia. Up the middle, knocked down by Ridley, picked up by Pavlich. Zezel bumps Ridley and goes down.
They're getting very tired now.
I wonder why.
The Rangers are still one man short on that ice. They got to get another guy. They only got 4 guys. Okay, now he comes on.
Needed a few seconds to rest. Sandstrom came on the ice. Ridley shoots it down. 11.5 minutes to go in the third period. 3-1 Rangers. Puck shot all the way down. I think we will start to see a lot of these icings as the players start to tire. 11:22 to go in the third period. 3-1 Rangers.
Hey, OJ, isn't that Marcus Allen? Remember when you could do that?
Arnie, I may have lost a step or two, but I can still get through an airport in a hurry.
You mean you still got it?
Yep, right here, the Hertz Express Service Pass. It lets you go directly from your plane to your car without stopping at the terminal counter. There's no faster way out of an airport.
It's him again.
Hey, Marcus, come here. Do I have to teach you everything?
Marcus!
Not everything.
Hertz, the #1 way to rent a car.
11 minutes, 22 seconds left in this third period, and it's 3-1 Rangers.
The third period or the fourth period?
I don't know. It feels like opening night.
If you missed it, we've had brawls galore. 11 players ejected from each side. 1 injury of note, and that was Dave Poulin taking a cut over the left eye in a fight with James Patrick. He took 7 stitches. The Rangers lead 3-1. And the other unfortunate part of it is that the coaches don't get to see a lot of the players in action, missing almost half a game. Rangers come out 4-on-2. Ridley has the puck. Ridley across the line, lost control, gets it back, shoots it in deep, and it's stopped by Darren Jensen.
I'll tell you what, though, that whole thing for both teams will give them a lot of sense of togetherness, a very tight group now.
I think that has been one of the goals of the coaching staff, and they've succeeded in that respect. Darren Jensen leaves the puck for Thomas Eriksson. Play is slowed down noticeably. Each team with only 8 skaters. Ruotsalainen goes cross ice. Here comes Raimo Helminen. Helminen back for Ruotsalainen. Keeps it in at the blue line. Wrists it in front. Knocked down by Pavlich. Pavlich tied up by Thomas Eriksson. Puck is still loose.
That's when you get really tired now.
Miller going after Eklund. Penalty coming up.
Chychrun again. He took Pavlich out. Knocked Pavlich down at the side of the net. And Pavlich is bleeding, so it'll be a 5-minute major. So the Rangers will have a power play for 5 minutes.
Pavlich with the cut over the left eye, not too happy about things. You're watching New York Rangers hockey from Madison Square Garden.
Right there with the cross check, and knocks him right into the goal post. And Pavlich gets it on the left side. So Chychrun only gets 2 minutes for roughing at 10:02. He drew blood. That's an automatic 5. I mean, okay, so the goal post hit him, but he pushed him into it. It's an automatic 5. I don't care if they don't have any players. Call the darn game right.
5-4 skating advantage for the Rangers. I'll tell you, it hasn't been easy for the officials to call the game. Hey, even you gave the linesman credit. The linesman
yes,
worked hard.
The linesman. I'll say the line.
Rangers power play. Bob Brook checked by Zezel. Nice move. Brook winds it around. Gagne is there. Gagne on the near side boards. Back for Ruotsalainen at the point. Looking for some shooting room. Goes to Gagne. He's got the room. Score! Dave Gagne. Power play goal. 4-1 Rangers.
When you see this replay, watch number 27, Eriksson, get out of the way. I mean, he moves to his left to get out of the way of the shot. Okay, Ruotsalainen gets the puck, goes to... Now, there's Eriksson right in the middle of your screen. On the right side, now watch him. Oh, get out of the way, baby. And Gagne blasted by, and that might have hit Kelly Miller's stick and went into the net, and I think it did. Hit Kelly Miller's stick and went down. Yes, it
It
did.
is Kelly Miller's goal. Ruotsalainen and Gagne will get the assists. Rangers have a power play goal, a shorthanded goal, and lead 4-1 with 9:15 to go in the third period. Derek Smith coming in. Smith against Brook. Brook takes him behind the net, ties him up, takes the puck away. Brook playing very well, and again showing his versatility by playing back on defense here in the third period.
And playing a lot in this third period.
Joe Patterson at the line. Ruotsalainen tied up by Derek Smith. Poked away by Kelly Miller coming back. Now it's Helminen. Sandstrom takes it across. Tries to squeeze through. Helminen picks it up and shot it wide. Out come the Flyers. Joe Patterson leaves it for Pelle Eklund. Eklund in against Ridley. Puck taken back by Ruotsalainen. Pavlich. Across the line. Chychrun goes down.
There's
Penalty
Pavlich.
call.
No, Pavlich is right after
him. He went right back after him.
Look at him. Oh. He's trying to kick him with his knee. Come on. I can't take it anymore. Oh, boy.
Well, Mark Pavlich not backing off at all. And two of the hardest workers tonight, McCourt and Diffuso,
I'll say.
with the striped shirts, pry them loose.
But see, that's Gregson's fault. The guy should have had a 5-minute major. He would have been out of the game. Pavlich had a time to cool down. He got blue blood. It's a 5-minute major. You know what I mean, Sam?
Okay, I understand.
That's what I mean. Now watch Pavlich. He knows it's him. First he tries and he knocks him down, and he just turns around and jumps up on top of him and tries to punch him.
And two more players have been ejected. Pavlich has gone to the dressing room. So does Chychrun, and we're down to 8 players aside. 1 goalie and 7 skaters.
But you see, that's what I mean. It was a 5-minute major, and he should have been in the penalty box. That's why I say I don't
The referee
care.
has to take control of the game in that instance. I agree with you there.
I mean, he knew, or someone, you knew that the guy was going to come back. That's why you can see Pavlich's face when he was sitting on the bench when we were waiting for commercial. We had the shot of him, and he's saying to the trainer, "I'm all right, leave me alone." And he had the look on him, you know, he's going to try to get back.
8:20 to go in the third period. Rangers leading 4-1. Baseball, Mets and Cardinals still scoreless, top of the 8th. Mets had 2nd and 3rd with 1 man out in the 7th, and Ron Darling missed a suicide squeeze, and the Mets failed to score.
Okay, that goal, by the way, the power play goal that Miller scored, Gagne and Ruotsalainen got assists. At 10:33 there was.
What a night. We've gone past the 3-hour mark. The few players remaining are trying to get their breath and relax a little bit. A lot of hardy souls and loyal fans still left in the stands.
Look at that guy. There's a hardy soul.
He missed the whole game. Could you imagine if he woke up and said, "Hey, what happened?
Hey, man, what's going on?"
Where are all the players?"
Give me a beer. That's too much. Oh, boy. That is too much.
Well, somebody wake him up. He's missing a game here. Pavlich gets the 2-minute penalty. And the Flyers will have a man advantage. And the discussion goes on.
Oh, will they please drop the puck?
Thomas Eriksson.
Number 23, serving the Pavlich, the minor penalties assessed against Pavlich.
So Pavlich got 2 minutes and 5 minutes each fighting. Is that what happened there?
Had to be 10-minute misconduct
and
in there.
10-minute misconduct
Right.
too. So in other words,
They're gone.
They're out of here.
So now the Rangers have 2 players on the bench, 4 on the ice, and 1 in the penalty box. and 1 in goal. Flyers power play. Rangers leading 4-1 here in the third period with 8 minutes to go. Zezel tied up by Ruotsalainen. Here comes Sinisalo for the shot. Saved by Van Beesbrook. You know, through all this, John Van Beesbrook has played very, very well in goal. Tough to keep your concentration in a game like this. And he's made some good saves. Zezel comes in, number 25.
No, and all, if you're going, 1 second.
Erickson with the puck. Flyers power play. Dave Farish checked by Kelly Miller. Takes it away and cleared. Almost had a 2-on-1 with Sandstrom, but decided to clear and go for a change.
And that big Donnybrook at the end of the second period, both goaltenders left their crease. If you really want to get technical, he could have given them 2 more minutes also. Thank God he didn't.
Brook comes back for the puck, drives it around the boards and up into the crowd.
Or Brook will be in goal.
That's right. He hasn't played goal yet as a Ranger. There's Bob Brook. You saw him in Bruce Beck's training camp feature working hard. This man is very strong. He is
a strong man. That machine that he had, it was pulling, I don't know what it's called, but it looked like a great machine. At least the way he was doing it looked good.
And you could
if I was doing it,
no, wouldn't look so cute, huh?
Are you kidding? It wouldn't look very good at all. Who wants to do that?
I think when all that work, as far as Brook is concerned, is paying off. You can see the stamina he's displayed in the
Somebody
game.
called timeout. Are you kidding me?
7:13 to go, third period. 53 seconds remaining in the penalty to Pavlich. Rangers are leading 4-1, and there is a timeout as the remaining players here take a bit of a rest.
Third period, 4-1 Rangers.
There will be an end to this game. We promise you this, and we promise Untouchables fans that the Untouchables will be seen in its entirety.
All right, Elliot.
When this game is ended. Ted Sater, he's an untouchable right now. 5-on-4 skating advantage for the Flyers for another 53 seconds or less. Could they score? Thomas Erickson with a shot that's deflected wide. 12 players have been ejected from the game on each side. Saved by Van Beesbrook. Boy, is he standing up well. He looks sharp.
He's not only standing up well, he's playing his angles real well. He's just challenging. And that's when he's his best.
Erickson in center for the Flyers. Across the line with 6:45 to go in the third period. Rangers lead 4-1. Zezel kept it in. Brook knocking it away from Eklund. Eklund has it along the boards, but gave it away to Gagne, who comes out with Thomas Sandstrom. Sandstrom moves around Farish. Sandstrom against Thomas Erickson. Throws it back to Ruotsalainen. And almost had something going on the far side. Sandstrom.
See that? Brook passed it back to Van Beesbrook. Well, they're after Sandstrom a little bit right now.
Rangers clear, and that does it. Teams are back at full strength on the ice. 6 minutes to go, third period, 4-1 Rangers. Farish weaving his way into Rangers ice. Drop pass for Sinisalo was behind him. Rangers come back. Helmanen with a feed for Kelly Miller. Eklund gets back to check him. Miller hooks it behind the net. Ridley after the puck and has it. Ridley looking in front. Back to the point, Ruotsalainen with room. The deflection off the stick of the defender. There was Eklund, and it's up into the crowd.
See Rail Ruotsalainen that time, very smart. He tried to pass it, he give it a shot. He saw Kelly Miller there. Instead of blasting at the net, he picked up his head and tried to slip it to Kelly Miller, who was wide open on the side. And Ruotsalainen, who I believe probably of all the guys in the Rangers is the key to their being having a successful year. He's got to play well.
Raimo Helmanen, the rookie from Finland. Second-round draft pick last year. Terry Karkner, the first-round draft pick, still with the team and has played well in training camp. .534 to go in this third period. Ruotsalainen back for it. Rangers still have 14 defensemen in camp, so there'll be some cuts made there later this week. And of course, next week, next Monday, all teams have to be concerned with a waiver draft. That shot comes all the way through.
October 7th.
Hit by Sandstrom on Joe Patterson. Sandstrom lost his helmet, and the puck bounces down into the Flyers zone just under 5 minutes to go. Well, Phil said it would be a rough game. He was right. He did not predict a 3.5-hour game, though.
I didn't predict that. I don't know. It just looked like it would be chippy.
Well, it got worse than chippy.
Yeah, it sure did.
Each team had 12 players ejected, with fights breaking out late in the second period. Sandstrom tied up by Thomas Eriksson. Gagne gets it around, gets it back. Gagne and Ridley. Ridley heading for the net. Gagne with a back pass. Ruotsalainen shoots, deflected, up into the air and cleared behind the net. Eklund has the puck. Checked by Gagne, gets it to Sinisalo. Both teams very tired right now as Derek Smith comes in. Ruotsalainen with a good work. Nice play by Ruotsalainen. As he took Derek Smith out of the play, Brook lifts it high into the air and heads for the bench to change. Just asking anybody to come in the game. There's not too many left. 3:45 to go. Rangers have 2 games with the Red Wings. Tomorrow night in Glen Falls, and then Friday night at RPI in Troy, New York, a Rangers home game. And then Saturday night, Nassau Coliseum against the Islanders. Sunday night at the New Haven Coliseum against the New Jersey Devils. And that'll be preceded by New Haven Nighthawks and Springfield Indians game. Offside on the play, 3:19. Robbie Fatorik coaching the New Haven Nighthawks this year. We certainly wish him well. And Wayne Thomas will be coaching Salt Lake City in the International League. And we wish him well.
That's a real good hockey town, you know, Salt Lake City. That's why they try to keep it going all the time. It's been a great hockey town over the years. And I wish Wayne Thomas all the best, and also Robbie Fatorik, who I think will make an excellent coach.
3:19 to go, third period. 4-1 Rangers. Remaining fans.
Well, there's
being noisy, that's for sure.
Oh, somebody woke up our guy.
Thrown in front, it's deflected by Ridley. Brook with a good play on Derek Smith. And Ridley fires it around the boards. 3 minutes to go in the game. Rangers leading 4-1. Technically in the third period, but somehow I don't think the Flyers will be able to get back into it. 2 tired hockey teams right now. Van Beesbrook to stop. 2:45 to go. Derek Smith and Helminen. Derek Smith a good play, but then he's bumped, and Ridley takes it back. There have been some good performances on the ice.
Not icing.
For the Rangers, Dave Gagne, Mike Ridley,
Bobby Brook,
Bob Brook,
John Van Beesbrook.
John Van Beesbrook, who played exceptionally well. Offside on the play.
And when you see even Ruotsalainen, like now, you know, all the guys that are playing right now, you figure, oh, these guys are really having a good game. And they are by playing this much in one period. Also the Flyers. The Rangers came out right away and got the jump before they got tired.
Helminen got the big shorthanded goal.
Look at that.
They're into the 9th inning. No score. I believe a penalty has been called for too many men on the ice. That's incredible. There aren't enough men on the team.
That is too much.
Well, that tops it off. The Flyers are called for too many men on the ice. Well, this has been one of those bizarre nights, ladies and gentlemen. We have been here for 3 hours and 20 minutes. Good part of that time taken up by fights. And it ejections of players, and finally, with 2:23 to go in the game, the Flyers are called for too many men on the ice.
What's Gregson doing now? Come on, let's get the game going. Blow the whistle, drop the puck. Let's go, man.
They only have 7 skaters.
I don't care if they have one. Let's
too many
go.
on the ice. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, let's be just wise to just play it out, get it done.
Well, it's not like they're playing for a Stanley Cup or anything.
No. 2:23 to go. Rangers will have a power play. Joe Patterson sits in the penalty box for the Flyers.
That's what the Rangers are, and the Flyers are saying too. The players that are left there, even the players that are sitting in the dressing rooms. Hey man, let's get it over with.
Statisticians Dave Newman and Arthur Friedman have done great work tonight keeping track of these penalties. Unbelievable. Rangers 1 for 6 on the power play. Ridley. Oh, excuse me, it wasn't Ridley on the power play goal. It was Miller getting the power play goal. Yeah, Ridley has scored. Helminen has a shorthanded goal, and Gagne has a goal. Gagne a goal and 2 assists. Brook has 2 assists. 1:45 to go. Rangers lead 4-1.
Right now, these guys are at a standstill. I can't say that I blame them.
They just want to kill off the time. Next time we'll see you is a week from Thursday, October the 10th, right here at Madison Square Garden, opening game of the season, Rangers and the Washington Capitals. Rangers will be in Hartford Saturday night, October the 12th. That game on WOR TV Channel 9. Rangers and Devils, October the 13th. Sandstrom shot, gloved by Darren Johnson. Or Darren Jensen, excuse me.
He used to be a slugger at first base.
That's right.
Was he?
Rangers power play has 51 seconds to go. Thomas Sandstrom leaning over. There's Darren Jensen. Played 4 years at the University of North Dakota. Picked up as a free agent last year by the Flyers.
He's probably ticketed for Hershey. I think with Froese and Lindbergh, they're setting goal.
Both playing very well. Froese played very well.
He sure did.
While he was in it before the fights broke out. Flyers have a couple of young, aggressive defensemen to look forward to in the future. Greg Smith and Jeff Chikrin. Both youngsters at 19. They may be heard from in a year or so. One of them might even make the team this year. Zezel throws it up into the crowd with 49 seconds to go in the game. 26 seconds to go on the Rangers power play. Dave Gagne, no longer a rookie.
Nope.
This is his 2nd year. And he has worked hard trying to make this team.
Oh, well.
Just a rest to catch your breath. 45 seconds to go.
Now they'll pass the puck probably back and forth here and try to just kill off the rest of the time. Philadelphia aren't going to do anything to try to get the puck either.
30 seconds to go.
You just got to be careful here. You don't let them get a goal because you don't want them to score.
Miller comes in, tries to beat Thomas Eriksson, who hoofs him, slows him up. Miller with a back pass to Brook. Throws it in front. It's deflected with a stick above the shoulder by Eriksson, but wiped off. The Rangers touch the puck. 10 seconds to go, and this one will be over. Mercifully, because those fights really detracted from what could have been a good game. This one is all over. For the Rangers, some very positive signs. Some very good performances. Darren Jensen goes off the ice. A very tired group of hockey players that were remaining will get some much-needed rest. Only 8 players aside were left. Rangers win it 4-1. We'll be right back with more from Madison Square Garden.